afternoon, everybody. This is Ben Scully speaking to you from the Los Angeles Coliseum as opening day has finally come to Southern California.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Live from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, KCAL 9 presents the Dodgers and the world champion Boston Red Sox. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to the Coliseum. Over my left shoulder, not a grandstand full of baseball fans. Instead, the peristyle end of the Coliseum. And down on the field, the Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers prepare to go through the motions in what most people would say is just a meaningless game. But it is far from meaningless tonight. First of all, the attendance might very well set a baseball record. 115,200 tickets were sold for tonight's game. And secondly, it is a very festive crowd, knowing that they are contributing to Think Cure, the combination of the Dodgers City of Hope and Children's Hospital to stamp out cancer. And with all of that in the background, the oohings and the ahhings of the home run hitters hitting towering shots over the famous screen in left field. We'll have a lot more to say about that during the course of the game. And we'll get to that game right after this.
What do you say? I buy the gas, you buy the food?
Okay.
I know you could have been a wonder, taking your circus to the sky. You couldn't take it on the
Introducing the new 35 miles per gallon Ford Focus.
Next time I'm buying the gas.
For only $169 a month, lease the all-new Ford Focus SE. It's fun to drive and looks great. See your Ford dealer today.
Chili cheeseburgers from Carl's Jr. If you don't want chili fries with them, too bad. You get them anyway. Chili cheeseburgers, back at Carl's Jr.
At Mercury Insurance, we're committed to providing our customers with the lowest car insurance rates possible. Anything we can do to lower your rates is fair game. If that means cutting back on our travel budget, well, we say make it so. Looking good, Ted.
Visit MercuryInsurance.com or give us a call at 8884-MERCURY to get a fast free quote and start saving today.
Power captured by revolutionary V-Vel technology that responds instantly to your commands and unleashes power immediately. The all-new 330 horsepower Infiniti G Coupe. Intensity captured. Now lease an all-new Infiniti G37 Coupe for $399 a month for 24 months.
Please keep your personal items at all times. Welcome to Utah. Whether you're here for a gorgeous house or the greatest one.
Welcome to Utah, where endless adventure is easy to find. With our 5 national parks and 43 state parks, come ready to play. To request a travel guide, visit www.utah.travel.
There's fun. Then there's 5 times the fun. It's Mazda's 5 to Drive sales event. Choose any one of these 5 Fun to Drive Mazdas and get a great low lease. That's great lease deals on 5 great Mazdas. Like the Fun to Drive Mazda 3i Touring for a low $199 a month lease for 24 months with $2,199 due at lease signing. The award-winning Mazda CX-7 and CX-9 have great offers too. Hurry, this event ends March 31st.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota, moving forward. By Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it. And by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today. Welcome back to the Coliseum as we attempt to turn back the clock 50 years. Our CarMax text question, which game at the Coliseum would you have most wanted to attend? The first game with all the excitement back in 1958, April 18th. How about the dramatic night, Roy Campanella evening with the Yankees, May the 7th, 1959? Or all the pomp and circumstance of the first World Series game with the Chicago White Sox, October the 4th, 1959. Text your answer to 86212 on your cell. You'll also become eligible to win a grand prize package. That would be a trip for two to the Dodgers 2009 spring training camp in Arizona. And the prize includes airfare, hotel, and 2 tickets to 2 games. Each text message costing 50 cents. And without further ado, let's get back to the spectacle tonight that is the ball game.
Okay.
Chili cheeseburgers from Carl's Jr. If you don't want chili fries with them, too bad. You get them anyway. Chili cheeseburgers, back at Carl's Jr.
Which company sells more used cars than anyone else in America? Which company is consistently one of the most admired companies in the auto industry? Which used car company has been named one of the 100 best companies to work for 4 years in a row? Which car company can say all of that? CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Better check this out. Stop on in. Buy LA's favorite truck and get 0% financing. That's right. Qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the Chevy Silverado half-ton. That's over $5,700 in average finance savings. Chevy Silverado, the best-selling large pickup in Los Angeles. Shop Chevy now. See your Southern California Chevy dealer or visit SoCalChevy.com today.
High gas prices stopping you in your tracks? Fly, don't drive. With Southwest Airlines Internet specials, you can fly nonstop from the LA area to Phoenix for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
The all-new 09 Corolla is here. And it's sleeker, quicker, quieter, and roomier. Backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. And now, get a $179 a month lease on a new 09 Corolla with its 35 MPG. Only $179 a month for 36 months to lease the all-new 09 Corolla. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today.
If you're thinking about a career in law enforcement, then serve with the best, the California Highway Patrol. Call 1-888-4A-CHP-JOB.
Hey, I got your email about my value menu, and I was really touched.
I'm on a kind of a tight budget, so it's really cool that right now I can get a great deal, like 2 of your warm and flaky croissant sandwiches for just $3.
Most of the money I save is going to a college fund for this guy.
I want to be a psychiatrist.
And the rest goes into my monkey spaceship.
Gotta follow your dreams, right?
Not always.
Dodgers are the champions of the National League. The impossible has happened.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. It seemed virtually impossible that I would ever say that statement again ever since the Dodgers left here in 1961. However, we are turning the clock back, celebrating our 50th anniversary, and the Coliseum with 115,300 tickets sold, a very high-spirited crowd, very much on the family side, coming to see what it was like 50 years ago. And when you realize people like Jeff Kent weren't even born when they were playing here in the Coliseum, there had to be a lot of questions in the players' minds when they arrived here. And the way they arrived was at the peristyle end of the Coliseum, where the football players come down the steps. Well, here, the Red Sox and the Dodgers came down the steps at the same time, and I understand that David Ortiz, Big Papi, took one look and said, "We're not going to play here, are we?" Well, what people forget when you come to the Coliseum tonight, not only the fact that there were 4 big league seasons played here, there was a great World Series played here back in 1959. And some of these kids, when they saw the fence, when they saw the stands jutting so close to the field, should be reminded that there were some marvelous games in the 1959 World Series. For instance, the first game played here, Don Drysdale beat the Chicago White Sox 3-1. The second game of the World Series played here, scream or no, Larry Sherry picked up the victory in relief, and the Dodgers won 5-4. And then, for good measure, to answer all the doubters who said you can't play baseball in the Coliseum, the screen in those days 40 feet high, 250 feet down the left field line. Well, in the game in the World Series, it was Bob Shaw, a sinker ball pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, who beat Sandy Koufax, screen or no screen, 1-0. And in that game, the only run scored came on a double play. So the people come to see what it was all about. Now they look at a field that has been shortened a bit. The screen is now about 200 feet from home plate. However, instead of being 40 feet high, it is 65 feet high. But the people here aren't worrying about dimensions. They really aren't even worrying about the outcome of the game. They are here to see a baseball game, to have a festive mood, and above all, to make their contributions to Think Cure, the joint effort of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the City of Hope, and Children's Hospital to eventually defeat the enemy that is cancer. Don't forget, you at home can make pledges to Think Cure throughout the game by calling 866-554-CURE. To give you an idea of turning the Coliseum back into a baseball park, the process for one day began in August of 2007 with the planning and design. A team of 100 workers spent more than a month executing the plan, which cost several $100,000. As many elements as possible have been reconstructed to bring back the look and the feel of the Dodgers' first home in Los Angeles. It is hard to believe that it was April the 18th, 1958, when we first set foot here in Los Angeles to play baseball. And one of the first changes for all of us who went through the experience is the very fact of living in Los Angeles. I remember vividly, every time I wanted to go somewhere, I would ask for directions. People would give me the directions and they would say, very seriously, it'll probably take you a good 25 minutes. Well, 50 years later, I'm still asking for directions, only now people are saying, Well, because of the traffic, it's going to take at least an hour and maybe more. So things have changed, some for the better, some, let's say, for the worse. But the Dodgers are here, and that's really all that counts. And this big crowd welcomes them as they go to the field. Throughout the night, if you don't mind, since it is a game, a charitable game, and so-called meaningless exhibition game, among other things, since I've had so many people ask me to reminisce a little bit, but not to get in the way of the game, but at the same time, any memories that might come to mind, why not tell them off? As Joe Torre is visiting with the umpires, and we can take a look now at the Boston Red Sox, their visiting lineup, and it shapes up this way. Julio Lugo at shortstop and Dustin Pedroia at second base. David Ortiz, Big Papi, the DH, and Mike Lowell will be at third. Kevin Youkilis, the first baseman, the Gold Glove. Coco Crisp in center field. Jacoby Ellsbury of Navajo blood, he's in right field. Bobby Kielty, a local boy who went to school at SC, he'll be in left field. And the catcher, Kevin Cash. Great idea in spring training to use the DH so that everyone gets a chance to get in his work. It's time now for Esteban Loaiza to get in his work. Loaiza last year 1-4 with the Dodgers. He was 1-0 when he pitched briefly for Oakland, and in his career against the Boston Red Sox, 4 wins and 2 losses. So Loaiza, tough act to follow with Chad Billingsley turning in that gem last night, and we'll see how Esteban goes. Among other things, his vital stats. He's a veteran, 36 years old, born in Mexico, lives in Texas, and we'll see how he goes now against Julio Lugo. Lugo, the Red Sox shortstop, who made 19 errors last year. In fact, he made 2 less than the other members of the infield, Youkilis, Pedroia, and Lowell. He is considered perhaps the weak link in the lineup, and yet he played well enough to get his club a World's Championship. The flash bulbs are going on all over like fireflies as people want to capture the magic of the first pitch. Back comes Esteban Loaiza, and it's swung on and popped up on the left side. Just inside the foul line is Blake DeWitt to make the catch, and we have one away. Let's take a moment and set the Dodgers defensively. It's James Loney and Jeff Kent, Rafael Furcal and Blake DeWitt. The outfield of Andre Ethier, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kemp, and the battery of Loaiza and Martin. Tonight, the Dodger DH for Joe Torre is Juan Pierre. So with one away, here's Dustin Pedroia, the solid little second baseman, and he takes low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. It was interesting that Pedroia and Lugo played together the end of 06 and 07, and looks like they're going to be playing together this year. That's news in Boston. The last time the Red Sox double play combination played together 2 or more years in a row, you'd have to go back to Jody Reed and Marty Barrett in 1989 and 1990. And the pitch down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. No score. We have 1 out, bases empty, first inning. Loaiza standing on the rubber, goes to his windup, right-hander ready, and comes back, and the fastball line drive caught by DeWitt, and just like that, 2 down. This will be a little bit of a different broadcast because of our vantage point. As you look down the line on television as if you were backing up third base, our broadcasting booth is atop the football press box. In fact, the last time that I was up here, I was doing a Ram football game, and I think they beat the Atlanta Falcons that game something like 75-0. So it has been a while. But we're back tonight. We're delighted. And now here is Big David Ortiz, better known as Big Papi. had his autobiography hit the stands last year, and it was high up on the New York Times bestseller list. The Dodgers shifting to the right side of the infield. And of course, it'd be interesting to see if Ortiz tries to do a Wally Moon and lift one the other way. He takes a pitch, and that misses. So Ortiz with 2 down, first inning, no score. So where we are, if you drew a straight line from our microphone down to the field, would be about 30 feet in front of first base. So it's a cockeyed angle for us, and we're relying on the television monitor really to stay inside the game. So they count 2 balls and 1 strike on the best designated hitter around. And the pitch now to Papi is swung on and hit foul, out of play. 2-2. In the old days, old meaning 50 years ago, it was 250 down the line, and it kept falling away. We can give you somewhat of the dimensions this year, and as you can imagine, they're pretty short. It is 374 to center and 300 down the right field line, but it was more spacious in the old days. One of the things that I remember, so that I wasn't really shocked by those dimensions, the 250 down the left and 425 and 440 to right center, was the fact in the Polo Grounds in New York, it was about 257 down the right field line. As Ortiz, meanwhile, hits a high fly ball down the left field line, and it goes foul and back into the crowd. But in the old Polo Grounds, you could hit a home run down the right field line for about 259 feet, and you could hit an out to dead center at 460. So we were kind of accustomed to that imbalance. And after a few games here, all of a sudden, the Coliseum felt like a comfortable slipper. David Ortiz hits another one foul, though Papi is still there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. First inning, no score. Big shift for the Dodgers. Loney, Kenton for Call, all on the right side of the infield. For Call being out on the grass. And the next pitch by Loaiza, swung on, hard ground ball inside first, down the line. Papi on his way into second base. Coming up with it is Kemp, but he gets it in too late. So David Ortiz pulls inside first, a line drive, double to right. 2 down, and the batter will be Mike Lowell. We'll see if Lowell follows his own custom after we take another look at Ortiz as he hits one by the diving Loney. Everyone who watches Mike Lowell says he does the exact same thing. He takes 4 practice swings and then gets into the box, and he never ever chews gum while he's hitting. The pitch to Lowell, in for a strike. And somebody said, when was the last time you chewed gum when you were hitting? And Mike said, I was 8 years old and I struck out. So I've never done it again. Well, he had a big year last year, hitting .324. His lifetime batting average had been .280. And by hitting 44 points above his basic average, that paid off for a 3-year extension starting this year. 1-1 the count to Mike Lowell. Here comes Loaiza with a fastball down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Loaiza, a much traveled veteran, originally came up with the Pittsburgh Pirates, then went to Texas, Toronto, the Chicago White Sox, the Yankees, the Washington Nationals, Oakland, and finally the Dodgers. Loaiza's fastball is swung on, fouled off first. Loney coming over, gets under it, and makes the catch for the out. So the Red Sox leave Ortiz at second. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of half an inning, no score.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Just go to southwest.com for Southwest Airlines Internet specials. Flying nonstop within California for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
From Japan, a country known for long life expectancy, comes Ryoko Ayujiru, a barley grass drink that provides the perfect nutritional balance to promote longevity. Ryoko Ayujiru is available in quantities of 30 or 90, so add a little green to your health. Visit healthygreenlife.com or call us for a free sample. Ryoko Ayujiru, total health care for body and mind. Ryoko Ayujiru.
It's a new day at your Chrysler dealer, where there's no better time to get the Chrysler you want. We're giving you better value, no extra charge dual DVDs on Town & Country Signature Series. Or 0% financing for 60 months on Sebring Convertible, Pacifica, and Aspen. But the Chrysler New Day sales event won't last long, so you better hurry. Or qualified returning Chrysler lessees get a low-mileage lease on 300LX for $199 a month.
David Ortiz doubles to right, but the Red Sox leave him. And we now go to the bottom of the first inning here in the Coliseum. Let's take a look at the Dodger lineup. Shortstop Rafael Furcal and catcher Russell Martin. Hitting third, Andre Ethier in left field. Jeff Kent hits cleanup at second base. Andrew Jones is in center field. James Loney is at first base. Matt Kemp is in right field. Juan Pierre is the designated hitter, and Blake DeWitt is at third base. For the Red Sox, the veteran, 41 years old, he'll be 42 in August, Tim Wakefield, ready to go to work. Wakefield won 17 games last year. He's a knuckleball pitcher. However, he labored after the month of May. His earned run average after May was almost 6. So we'll see how Wakefield goes. He's entering his 14th year with Boston. There are only 3 other active major league pitchers who have worn the same uniform continuously since that time. And his first pitch is swung on and hit to left field by Rafael Furcal. Bangs off the ball, and he will hold up at first base. So Rafael Furcal with a big grin. In other words, smiles from Mariano Duncan as well. Slaps a knuckleball to left field, banging off that fence for a line drive single. And the hitter now will be Russell Martin. So Rafael having a brilliant spring. Whether he tries to run or not remains to be seen. But Furcal, who was hitting .385 before the hit, has stolen 3 bases. And with a knuckleballer out there in a normal game and a wild throw to first base, Furcal takes a look as it goes down the line, but he's going to stop at second. So an error charge to Tim Wakefield, trying to keep Furcal close, and he throws it away. So Rafael will advance to second, and the Dodgers now with nobody out. Martin, Ethier, and Kent in that order. A lot of people ask me, when you think back to the Coliseum, what's the funniest thing you ever saw here? And there was something here that I never thought I would see, and that was when Leo DeRocher, the Lion as they called him, was coaching for Walter Alston. And there was a play at home plate that went against the Dodgers, and Leo was coaching at third, and he came charging down to home as Martin takes ball 2. Jocko Conlon, a fiery little guy who had played the outfield in the American League and is now in the Hall of Fame. Jocko Conlon was the plate umpire. Wakefield's next pitch, foul back. Leo, long before Lou Piniella ever saw it, but when DeRocher got angry, he would kick dirt. So when he got down into the right-hand hitter's box arguing with Conlon, Leo started to kick dirt on home plate, and unfortunately one kick, instead of digging dirt, it bounced up and hit Conlon in the shins. A drive to right, back for it is Ellsbury, tagging up is Furcal, and he'll move to third. So Martin does his job, goes the other way, and gets Rafael over to third. Anyway, so DeRocher goes to kick the dirt, His foot bounces, and he kicks Conlon in the shin. Conlon, fiery little Irishman, kicks Leo DeRocher in the shins. DeRocher gets even angrier. He kicks Jocko Conlon in the shins, and Conlon, for the second time, kicks DeRocher in the shins. Well, the only trouble was Leo finally realized the plate umpire is wearing shin guards under his pants. Only then did Leo realize it, but the thought of two veterans, an umpire and a former great manager, kicking each other in the shins, it was like two little boys having a tantrum in the school park. That was about as funny a thing as I saw in this ballpark, and have never seen anything close to it again. Meanwhile, Rafael Furcal at third. Andre Ethier trying to pick him up. Swings at a knuckleball. Doesn't get it. 1-2 the count. Tim Wakefield won a 150th victory on his birthday in August last year. Furcal down the line from third. And there's one that's hit in the air to left center field. And the catch will be made by Bobby Kielty. And tagging up to score is Furcal, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. So Rafael Furcal brings it in. The Dodgers on a double, then the fly ball going one way and the other fly ball to get him home. 1-0 Dodgers, and the batter will be Jeff Kemp. Opening day for the Dodgers right around the corner on Monday, and of course opening day for the major leagues is Sunday. Tomorrow night in Washington, when Atlanta plays the Nationals, that will kick off the season, which also means some heavy thinking by the general managers as Kent takes another one low. 2 balls and no strike. The Dodgers by tomorrow night must cut down to 25. So a lot of young men will be packing their bags and moving on for a while after tonight's game. The pitch is in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. Dodgers and Red Sox tomorrow afternoon at Dodger Stadium, and then it starts for keeps on Monday with the Giants. Jeff Kent with a 3-1 count. Kent, as usual, left his trademark on last night's game. You may remember in the 4th inning, Ethier doubled and then Jeff doubled. And this time he whacks one foul outside of third and down the line. And a 3-2 count to Jeff with Andrew Jones on deck. When we were recounting the scores of the World Series games here, 3-1, 5-4, 1-0, it certainly proves the point. Big league pitching can get it done no matter the dimensions. Ground ball to third, that'll do it for Kent. But the Dodgers timely hitting. The fly ball going the other way by Martin, and the fly ball by Ethier picks up for call. 1-0 Dodgers.
Hey, Raj, word is you refiled your taxes and got an even bigger refund.
Word travels fast, huh?
You refiled your taxes? How?
Big brain.
So what'd you put down for Schedule C?
I don't want to get too technical. Pretty complicated.
Try Second Look. We found bigger refunds for over half our clients. Those we refiled got back $1,300 more on average. Just $29.
What's your secret? I got people.
People?
Yeah, they took a second look at my taxes, found a whole bunch of money my whole guy missed.
Second Look. Call or go online for an appointment.
Can you match this?
Shouldn't be a problem.
Cool.
This?
Yes. This? Got it.
This?
Sure. Let me show you.
With our free color matching system, Lowe's can exactly match any color that you can come up with or in with.
This?
This? This?
This?
This? Absolutely.
Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Come into Lowe's and receive $5 off per gallon of Valspar signature colors and faux paints now through April 6th.
It's the hottest crossover in America. It's the Ford Edge. And now it comes with the Sun & Sink lease that's just $279 a month. You get the amazing Vista roof, biggest sunroof in its class, luxurious leather seating, the convenient power lift gate, and you get Sync, powered by Microsoft, the remarkable voice-activated phone and entertainment system. All this for only $279 a month.
the Edge Sun in St. Louis, a very hot reason to visit your California Ford dealer.
Now, take KCAL9 News to work. We're live streaming on the web 5 days a week on KCAL9.com at noon, 2, 3, and 4 p.m. with news as it happens. So don't wait for your news. Go to KCAL9.com at noon, 2, 3, and 4 p.m.
The Dodgers leading 1-0 as we go to the second inning. Members of the Los Angeles Dodgers of 1958 were out around the mound. Duke Snider throwing out the first ball of the second inning, and as the former heroes slowly walk off the field, we have a chance to visit with the man who really put it in motion and the man who got it done. And Frank McCourt, heartiest congratulations on an amazing evening.
Oh, Ben, thank you very, very much for saying that. But believe me, it's many other people that are responsible for this, and I'm just so proud of everybody who's participated and to help make this all happen, and including you, by the way. And you've embraced this whole Think Cure as our official charity, and of course have made this night very, very special. So thank you as well.
Well, the triumphant trio, the Dodgers, the City of Hope, and Children's Hospital. When you see a thing like tonight happen, it is so inspirational. It almost removes the doubt. You say to yourself, you know what? With this kind of power behind them, they'll get it done. One of these days, they will defeat Sanson.
There is no question in my mind. And when I see 115,000 plus people here embracing the concept, and I can't tell you the different things that the fans have said to me about their personal experiences. Look, if we can put a man on the moon, we can find a cure for cancer.
How in the world did you get the idea? I mean, first of all, you've been out here a couple of years. You're familiar with Dodger Stadium, certainly not with the Coliseum. What made you think, you know what? Why don't we play a baseball game on our 50th anniversary?
Well, you know where my office is at the stadium, Vin. I walk by those photos each and every day. I walk by the photos of them putting that baseball diamond in the first time here at the Coliseum, and opening day here, and the World Championship here, and of course the Roy Campanella night here. And it just, you can't help but stop and take a peek at those and wonder what it was like. And then when we were talking about the 50th anniversary and having a whole menu of events during the course of the year, this jumped off the page as an obvious way to celebrate and say thank you to our fans on an evening here in LA.
But how many people looked and said, Frank, you can't be serious. You can't suddenly in one day replicate something that was here 50 years ago. How can you do that?
Well, like everything, I mean, there was a little bit of resistance early on, but I say little bit. There was well, maybe we can't or shouldn't, or, the no's creep in. But as soon as you say, no, we're going to do it, then everybody got on board. And I mean everybody. The Coliseum Commission. We're visitors tonight. This was our home, but it's their home now. We're here. They're our host, and I'm so grateful to them. The City of LA, Fire Department, Police Department, our own stadium people who built this field while they were, taking care of things at Dodger Town and in Phoenix and in China. And, it's been one of those springs that's very memorable, but everybody's been up for the task. And of course, everybody else who just made this entire evening possible. I think I just heard that we've parked over 10,000 cars at Dodger Stadium and shuttle people
shutting them over here. Yeah. I think one of the nicest things, in all honesty, is the mood. The people were so happy. It was not only festive, it was almost a love fest when the people were coming to the ballpark. I felt that, and I've been here since about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. I was outside, and it was just I don't know how to quite describe it. It was just one of those special things when you see this sea of blue emerge and all the fans out there just with their families. So many families out there just enjoying themselves, having fun, knowing on the one hand they're celebrating something historic, on the other hand their hard-earned money is going to find a cure for cancer.
And at the same time, with over 115,000 people here in the Coliseum, many of whom have been touched one way or another by cancer.
Well, Vin, I don't know if there's anybody who hasn't been touched, because when a kid gets cancer, the family has cancer.
Exactly.
When mom or dad gets cancer, the family has cancer, and that's it touches everybody. We all have a story, and unfortunately more than one story, and I think that if we can all put our everything, put our might behind it, then we can find a cure. All of the doctors and scientists who know far better than I say it is doable within our lifetimes.
So far here in the second inning, it has been a strikeout for Euclid, then Coco Crisp struck out. So Esteban Loaiza pitching to be in the starting rotation, leading 1-0 with 2 down, top of the second inning, in a game that means so little and at the same time means so much.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've had actually players come up and say how excited they are to be a part of it, and they're just very appreciative. And our guys and the Red Sox as well, we owe them a big thank you, because they've been very good about embracing this whole idea and been very gracious in their comments. And to me, the historical significance of the Braves playing the Red Sox and launching the Jimmy Fund, and then out here playing the Red Sox and launching Think Cure. That I really like the historical symmetry of that.
Oh, it's just marvelous. And I'm sure the Boston Red Sox players, who first were dismayed when they saw the ballpark, now realize, you know, big leaguers can play and make any ballpark fit. I remember an old story in the minor leagues in Nashville's Sulphur Dell. They sold standing room only in right field. There was no right field. And Boots Poppensberger, a pitcher from a long time ago, did not allow one ball to be hit to right field. Not one, even though it was jammed with people and these guys were trying to hit it in there. So it's not a freakish ballpark. It's just unusual. And we're going to get our third out here on a high throw to first. And there'll be an error charge to Blake DeWitt. And Jacoby Ellsbury is safely aboard on the high throw. So an error by DeWitt, who, by the way, has been brilliant defensively all spring. Dodgers a big question as to who's going to play third, who's going to do various things on the ball club. Jeff Kent, of course, with a tender leg, and with Nomar along with Andy LaRose sidelined at third. So we might see a little bit more of DeWitt than we might normally not.
And just imagine what's going through that young man's mind right now. He was 4th on the depth chart, and here he is playing in front of the biggest starting the ball from the biggest crowd in the history of the baseball game.
Now tell me, as Bobby Kilty, who went to school here at USC, a local boy getting a chance to play in the Coliseum, and the pitch to Bobby is a little high, ball 1-0. Kilty waiting. Dodgers lead 1-0. Bobby was born in Fontana, and he backs away with the runner going. A throw down gets away from Furcal, and safely into second base goes Jacoby Ellsbury, who is a fleet-footed outfielder. They figured out with Ellsbury playing, he is worth 8 runs per 100 games offensively. When Coco Crisp plays, he saves 7 runs per 100 games. So you like the offense, you have Ellsbury. You like the defense, you get Crisp. And tonight, the Dodgers get both of them. So Bobby Kilty, the local boy from SC, trying to see if he can't drive in the run. And Kilty swings, fouls it back.
Well, I wanted to congratulate you, Vin, on the great honor you received pregame. I thought that was just a marvelous celebration, and boy, what a reception you received.
I tell you, it's very humbling to realize God has been so good, and then to hear the crowd. It was very emotional. I'm glad it's over with, even though I did appreciate it.
Well, we're just I'm pleased to be sitting here with you, and I'm pleased every time I see you, but to be down there on the field and to see this community and that embrace was just something I'll never forget.
Yeah, no lie. 3-1 the count to Bobby Kilty, with Dave Cash, the catcher, coming up, and Kilty draws the walk. So you have runners at first and second. The Dodgers really, when you look at the infield, Joe Torre has a 6-man infield, because you have Loney and Kent. Then you have Andrew Jones, like a middle infielder in softball. Then you have Furcal and Ethier. So the Dodgers have only 2 outfielders, and they are in center and right, and they would be Ethier and Kemp. Strange setup. The pitch low and no throw. Martin wanted to get one off and then opted to drop to his knee. Frank, is there anything we've overlooked in our visit here? I don't want to miss a thing.
I just think that I just want to say from the bottom of my heart and from everybody in the Dodger family's heart, just thank you to thank you to the fans for their generosity. Not only the well, I should say especially 50 years of loyalty and support, but also the generosity this evening to make this dream a reality. And there's a high fly.
High drive, and that's going to go all the way deep into the bleachers in center field. So 3 runs in a hurry on the home run by Cash. I guess you could say he cashed it in, and the Red Sox have taken a 3-1 lead.
Funny about those errors, isn't it?
Isn't it amazing? It jumps up every time. The error by DeWitt, and now the 3-run home run. The Sox, among other things, have a terrific record at Fenway Park, though we can't call the screen monster, but they are very successful with a short porch in left, and that thing really hit out of sight. And the leadoff man now, Julio Lugo, at the plate. A reminder throughout the telecast of the telethon that's going on. The number you can call and donate. Phone to pledge, why, it's 866-554-CURE.
You know, before I get out of your hair, I've been dying to ask you, what does this bring back to you in terms of memories, having been here early on?
Well, when I first walked in, like other people who first come here, I was overwhelmed. I thought it's a big stadium. I never saw crowds more than 55,000. And the first game to see 78,000, that took my breath away. They're also counting us out, so don't go away, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a moment. We'll be back. It's 3-1 Sox.
The all-new 09 Corolla is here. And it's sleeker, quicker, quieter, and roomier, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. And now, get a $179 a month lease on a new 09 Corolla with its 35 MPG. Only $179 a month for 36 months to lease the all-new 09 Corolla. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today.
Sign up for T-Mobile and get the phone that fits you best. Come in during the month of March and choose any Samsung phone for free. T-Mobile. Stick together.
The Dodgers are celebrating 50 years in Los Angeles. Join the fun with many season ticket plans at family-friendly prices. Visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS today.
A coworker's X-rated sales scheme.
She got mad because I had the sexy picture on the website.
Half-naked women.
Reveal.
Is that you in between these women's legs?
Yes.
On the next People's Court.
Monday at 1 on KCAL 9.
Sign up for T-Mobile and get the phone that fits you best. Come in during the month of March and choose any Samsung phone for free. T-Mobile. Stick together.
Red Sox lead the Dodgers 3-1, bottom of the second inning. And we have a chance to visit with a man whose dream has been fulfilled tonight. All of those amazing thoughts that Frank McCourt had about doing this has actually come to being. And 115,300 fans are looking on. When I was in New York, and for that matter broadcasting National League baseball games, as Andrew Jones takes ball 1, we would go to Connie Mack Stadium. We would go to Busch Stadium, Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. We'd go to Wrigley Field, Chicago, even up in Braves Field, Boston, to go way back. Connie Mack Stadium. They were all small ballparks. Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. The only big crowd I ever saw in the National League was a 50-some-odd thousand at the Polo Grounds. And if I went over to the American League, to Yankee Stadium, I might see 62,000 way back when. So my first impression when I walked in here was the immensity and the size of the crowds. And it led, of course, to 93,000, which really took my breath away.
There's something that's just so amazing about this sea of humanity in blue here that just, it really shows you that this is the Dodger family we're out looking at. You know?
Absolutely.
And it's just a
ground ball to Alex Cora, who's going to throw out Andrew Jones, one away.
Well, I'm going to leave by just saying thank you to you, Vin, to everybody in the organization, and especially to our fans. I mean, this is a great celebration of the past 50 years. We get to reminisce a little and say thank you to the fans. But with Think Cure, we get to sow the seeds for the next 50 years. So thanks very much to everybody.
And may God bless your efforts and the efforts of everyone involved in Think Cure. And someday we can actually accomplish it and get rid of cancer.
Got to do it. I'll see you opening day.
Absolutely.
Okay, see you, Vin.
Thank you, Frank. One away, James Loney checking in at the plate. He takes high, ball one, 1-0. If you are watching the game on television, we can tell you one thing. You might have a knuckleball pitcher on the mound, but it's not that much of a problem for the catcher. Because of the confines of the ballpark, it is also the friendly confines for a catcher handling a knuckleball. If the pitch gets away at the plate, really, to use old Bob Uecker's line, all you have to do is, when it stops rolling, pick it up. There's hardly any room at all behind the catcher, and that's kind of comforting for Cash. Meanwhile, Loney takes off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. You know, it's one thing to be a dreamer, and he's gone now, but there's one thing to be a dreamer, but it's another thing to bring the dream to fruition. And Frank McCourt is amazing that way. I wouldn't say that when he was here, but I can say it now. Remarkable. 3-2 the count to James Loney. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Red Sox leading 3-1. Alex Cora, who at one time played for the Dodgers, now at shortstop for Boston. And James Loney, meanwhile, has a dancer, as they used to call the knuckleball, catch the corner. Down he goes for strike 3. So 2 down in the 2nd inning, and Matt Kemp coming up.
Number 27.
Tim Wakefield is a very decent human being. He has been the Boston Red Sox recipient of the Roberto Clemente Award 7 times for all the good things that he has done off the field. And when you are as generous with your time and money as Tim Wakefield is, why, he deserves to be saluted. I mean, every time you look up, he has done something worthwhile. Went to Florida Tech in Melbourne, which is not too far away from Vero Beach in Florida. Right-hander ready and comes back, and the knuckleball moves inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wakefield, when he was with Pittsburgh, struggled, found himself in '95 when he was with Boston, and he won 16 games. The next one inside. He has won 16 twice, and he has won 17 twice. It's interesting. He won 17 in 1998 and then won 17 last year. So he might be getting older, but he is certainly stronger. Alex Cora will play that shot at the base of the left field wall to hold it to a single for Matt Kemp. So with 2 down, a single to left for Kemp. And the designated hitter is Juan Pierre. Remember, the Red Sox last night started their front line players, and then around the 5th and 6th inning, the front liners all disappeared. It could very well happen tonight, and it would be understandable. Remember, this team has just been back from Japan on Wednesday, and they still have to be a bit bone weary. They also have as difficult a schedule as Terry Francona ever could have or imagine. They play only top teams. There goes Kemp. The fastball is late, and the throw is off the glove of Cora, and so Matt Kemp steals second base. So the Red Sox had Jacoby Ellsbury steal, and this time Kemp steals, and Wakefield now has to get Juan Pierre in his first at bat of the night. Red Sox 3, Dodgers 1. Wakefield's knuckler in the dirt, kicks to the backstop, and on the wild pitch, Kemp advances to third. You might be interested over the years, the players who are extremely successful here, and you might not be surprised over some of the results. The top batting average for a visiting player in the Coliseum, Willie Mays. He hit .367 here. Stan Musial hit .363. Pierre, meanwhile, comes up empty on a knuckleball, and that's that. So Wakefield strikes out 2. The Dodgers lead 1, and at the end of 2, it's 3-1 Boston.
50 years of innovation, performance, and building dependable cars and trucks have led to this. Nissan's 50th anniversary sales event. See your Nissan dealer now for special 50th anniversary deals on every Nissan. Like $12.50 cash back on Sentra or Altima, just $199 a month. Nissan's Big 5-0. This event ends March 31st. Don't miss it.
Please keep your personal items in your possession at all times. Welcome to Utah. Whether you're here for a gorgeous rocks or the greatest one.
Welcome to Utah, where endless adventure is easy to find. With our 5 national parks and 43 state parks, come ready to play. To request a travel guide, visit www.utah.travel.
Better check this out. Stop on in. Buy LA's favorite truck and get 0% financing. That's right. Qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the Chevy Silverado half-ton. That's over $5,700 in average finance savings. Chevy Silverado, the best-selling large pickup in Los Angeles. Shop Chevy now. See your Southern California Chevy dealer or visit SoCalChevy.com today.
Credit card maxed out? Stop online shopping. Get informed. KCAL 9 News is live streaming on the web with all the day's news as it happens live. Don't wait for your news. Go to KCAL9.com weekdays at noon, 2, 3, and 4 p.m.
We've reached the 3rd inning here at the Coliseum. The Red Sox leading the Dodgers 3-1. Dustin Pedroia followed by David Ortiz and then Mike Lowell facing Esteban Loaiza. The right-hander into the windup, and his first pitch is taken for a strike. In reminiscing about the ballpark and games played here, I'll have to tell you something that actually first occurred when I was trying to play ball in college. The next one is a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. We had a player in college. He was the runner at first with 1 out. Our hitter hit a fly ball to the outfield. The runner at first lost sight of the ball and went running for his heart's content from first to third. Meanwhile, Pedroia lines out to Blake DeWitt. When the college runner got to third, the third base coach said, "Go back, go back." And the college runner, so help me, turned around and ran right over the mound back to first base. I mean, it was the dumbest thing, and we got all over him after the game, and I thought, well, I will never see that. David Ortiz fouls it away. So help me, in a game here in the Coliseum, kind of on a foggy night, I'm not going to name the player. It's too embarrassing to be a big leaguer, but this honestly happened. He was at first base. He was a good player and a good hitter. Ortiz takes inside. The Dodger batter hit a high fly ball to center field deep. Our guy at first ran as hard as he could. When he got to third, they hollered to him. DeRocher hollered, "Go back, go back." There's a ground ball to short to Furcal. That will do it to Ortiz. Anyway, this major league runner got to third, turned, and ran directly over the mound back to first base. You could not believe that in a big league game, but it happened. We're just coming up with a few thoughts about things that happened here at the Coliseum. 2 down here in the 3rd inning, and Mike Lowell is the batter. And Lowell takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Sox are leading 3-1. 3-run home run by Cash after the Dodgers had an error by Blake DeWitt allow Ellsbury to get aboard. He stole second. Bobby Kielty walked, and Cash then hit a home run. So Mike Lowell checking in. The next pitch is swung on and banged into center field, snared on a trap by Andrew Jones. In fact, again, because of the alignment, Andre Ethier is the one who speared it, because Andrew Jones is playing the middle infield. But here's Ethier short hopping the ball, and Mike Lowell gets a base hit. I don't remember ever seeing anything like this really when they played here before. I mean, just look, if you're watching on television, Rafael Furcal is on the rim. Andrew Jones has now moved in along with Jeff Kent and James Loney. So the Dodgers only have 2 outfielders. Ethier is now in center, and Matt Kemp is around in right. And Andrew is on the rim of the infield as if he is a middle fielder. A drive to left field high. Is it 65 feet over the screen? It is gone. So Mike Lowell, who had singled, allows Kevin Youkilis to come up, and Youkilis clears the 65-foot screen. The wired monster. And because of 2 home runs, the Sox now lead 5-1. It's also very tough for Joe Torre and the rest of the Dodgers to judge the abilities of Esteban Loaiza pitching in this kind of a ballpark under these strange settings. So it is 5-1 in favor of the Red Sox here in the 3rd inning. And here's Coco Crisp. He takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. One of the things the Red Sox did last year, they had 689 walks. Little nubber back towards Loaiza, the underhand feed, and they get the out, but not before a 2-run home run by Kevin Youkilis. And at the end of 2.5 innings, Red Sox 5, Dodgers 1.
Flying out of LAX for business? Southwest Airlines isn't just for short flights anymore. We offer nonstop flights to Austin, Chicago Midway, Houston Hobby, Kansas City, Nashville, St. Louis, and other destinations across the country. Starting May 10th, fly Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service to Denver for just $79 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Chili cheeseburgers from Carl's Jr. If you don't want chili fries with them, too bad. You get them anyway. Chili cheeseburgers, back at Carl's Jr.
Touch here. Can't feel the immediate response as you paddle shift your way through the 6 speeds? That's because there's only one place to experience the race-inspired IS. Your Lexus dealer, where you'll discover why nothing else feels quite like a Lexus. Attractive lease offers available now through March 31st. Only at your Southern California Lexus dealer.
And now, Bevmo takes 1 nickel, 1 bottle of wine, and turns it into 2. It's the Bevmo 5-cent wine sale. Buy one of over 150 quality wines and the second bottle just 5 cents. You can't go wrong at Bevmo.
The Boston Red Sox on the wings of 2 big home runs, a 3-run job by Cash, a 2-run home run by Youkilis, and they lead Esteban Loaiza and the Dodgers 5-1. Talking about home runs here at the Coliseum, Duke Snider, in his time with the Dodgers playing here, hit 38 home runs. Charlie Neal, the second baseman for the Dodgers, hit 38. And Wally Moon, a left-hand hitter, who hit them over the screen in left field, so they called it Moon shots. Wally had 37. And by the way, Moon, along with Snider, here tonight. Wakefield ready. Tim delivers and misses off the corner as the Dodgers try to come back. Blake DeWitt, whose two-out error in the second inning, cost Loaiza 3 runs. Fastball in for a strike. We were talking before about the continuous service of Tim Wakefield by wearing the same uniform since at least 1995. John Smoltz of the Braves, Trevor Hoffman of San Diego, and Mariano Rivera of the Yankees. Wakefield comes back, and the next pitch is swung on, popped up into shallow left, if there is such a thing. Cora goes out and makes the catch for the out. So DeWitt pops it up, 1 down, and the batter will be Rafael Furcal. By the way, the Dodgers are auctioning game-worn jerseys from tonight's charity game, and billing and bidding is now underway online at dodgers.auction.mlb.com, and will continue until 2 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, April the 10th. Proceeds from this auction will also benefit Think Cure, the official charity of the Los Angeles Dodgers. A drive going foul way down the line, halfway up the stands by Rafael Furcal, whose single to left reached on an error and eventually came around to score on the fly ball of Andre Ethier. Tim Wakefield has not only been with the Red Sox a long time, he's been very productive. Furcal lifts one into shallow right field, and Pedroia goes out and makes that one. So we have 2 down in the 3rd inning. Only 2 pitchers have won more games than Tim Wakefield for the Red Sox. How about Roger Clemens, who won 192, and Cy Young, who won 192. Going into this year, Tim has won 154. Better 30 more than a couple of famous pitchers, Mel Parnell and Luis Tiant. So Tim Wakefield, he has the credentials. And the right-hander comes back now, working on Russell Martin, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Martin, a nice bit of hitting in the 1st inning. With Furcal at second, he hit a fly ball to right field to get Rafael to third. This time he fouls one away. One big difference, the Dodgers have a lot of first ball swingers. Last year, and for the 3rd straight year, the Boston Red Sox took a lot of walks. Martin hits one foul off first. That's out of play, back into the crowd. 689 walks. So it shows the Red Sox have a lot going for themselves, pitching, hitting, and a lot of patience at home plate. And when they play at home, they're not exactly a lot, but they're close enough. Wakefield comes back with a dancer outside, throwing knuckleball, so it's not too much expenditure on the arm. In a game with Pittsburgh back in 1993, Tim made 172 pitches in the game. Fastball, foul back and out of play. That was the most by a starter since, you may remember, Fernando Valenzuela back in 1987 pitched a game for the Dodgers where he made 173 pitches. So it's Wakefield and Loaiza. Dodgers and Red Sox meeting for the 4th time this spring. Dodgers have won all 3 previous, and there's ball 4 to Russell Martin. 5-1 Red Sox. 2 down, a runner at first, and Andre Ethier coming up. Crowd has settled in now. They're just enjoying the ball game. No longer amazed at the balls hit into the screen or over the screen. They just settle in to watch the ball game. 0-1. Ethier fouling it off. You don't see too many knuckleball pitchers anymore. Though Wakefield might be the last of the Mohegans who throws it regularly. There goes Russell Martin to steal second without a throw. And of course, live by the sword, die by the sword. So Wakefield gets the hitters out, but he's always vulnerable to the stolen base. Tim's next pitch is swung on and fouled away. If you are the hitter, you're safely up there at home plate. The on-deck hitter is behind the bench. You can see Jeff Kent sitting behind the Dodgers, who are seated on camp chairs. That is the out-of-bounds on-deck circle for sure. And for the safety of the crowd, you see that post that's sticking up, and now you see there's 3 posts sticking up, and there's one more, so 4. That's support holding huge screens. You're not really aware of the screens. You're certainly aware of the post holding them up. That's for the safety of the crowd. A little too close for comfort. Ethier, a ground ball to Pedroia, and they get the out at first. So Wakefield is knuckling the Dodgers under. And at the end of 3, it remains the Boston Red Sox 5 and the Dodgers 1.
What do you say? I buy the gas, you buy the food? Okay.
You know you could have been a wonder, taking your circus to the sky. You couldn't take it on the
Introducing the new 35 miles per gallon Ford Focus.
Next time I'm buying the gas.
For only $169 a month, lease the all-new Ford Focus SE. It's fun to drive and looks great. See your Ford dealer today.
Start the party.
Celebrating 50 years in L.A. on your Dodger station, KCAL 9. Dodgers, Giants, the legendary rivalry. Wednesday at 6:30 on KCAL 9.
Oh, look at that. I just don't seem to sweat anymore.
Everybody sweats, especially now during tax time.
Oh, I don't worry about my taxes. I got people.
People? What if something goes wrong?
That'll get some beads going.
Nope. My people take the heat.
The H&R Block Guarantee. We guarantee our accuracy, or we'll pay any resulting penalties and interest to the IRS and stand behind you if you get audited.
Welcome back to Dodger Baseball. I'm John Ireland in the Coliseum Commissioner's Room, reminding you that it's not too late to pledge to Think Cure. 866-554-CURE is the number. Operators standing by as you help us cure cancer. Now, back to Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9.
And we're going to the 4th inning with the Red Sox leading the Dodgers 5-1. The Dodgers make a pitching change. Chan Ho Park will come in and pick up for Esteban Loaiza. Actually, Loaiza and Park have gone to the wire as far as making the starting rotation. Loaiza was 1-1 and an ERA of 4.2. Chan Ho Park trying to come back, no record, but a great ERA of 1.6. So it's pretty hard to judge Loaiza. All we know is that he was charged with 5 runs, 2 of them unearned, and he gave up a single, a double, and 2 home runs. So Chan Ho Park now going to work. He'll be pitching to Jacoby Ellsbury, playing right field, and starts him with a strike. Ellsbury, they tell me, when he calls home, he talks to his mother in her language which is Navajo. Ground foul outside. Jacoby Ellsbury, a rather tremendous breakthrough year for him when he finally joined the club and helped lead them to the championship. And they just feel he's going to become a superstar eventually. Ellsbury last year hit .353, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs, only played in 33 games, but then in the postseason appeared in 11 postseason games. And he slices one to the base of the left field wall. A trio of dodges to hold it to a single. So Jacoby Ellsbury opens up with a single, and the batter now will be Bobby Kielty. Sinking to the base of the screen. For Call going out, Andrew Jones going out, and finally Ethier picks it up. So Andrew Jones can certainly tell the kids, I played the strangest position I've ever played in the major leagues. I'm a 5th infielder, almost like a softball game. No reason to stand in shallow left field. And there immediately goes Ellsbury. The throw, they got him. Nice tag by Rafael Furcal. Andrew Jones making the putout. A great throw by Russell Martin. So Andrew Jones has made a lot of putouts on fly balls, but look at here. He gets himself a putout on an attempted stolen base. Sure is strange to see him there. And just like that, one away. Thrown out stealing 2-8. Catcher to the center fielder. 5-1 in favor of the Red Sox. Bobby Kielty, the Trojan from SC. Bobby's been around. He'll be 32 in August. Played with Minnesota, Toronto, and Oakland before coming over to Boston with that red hair last year. Bobby hit .231 for the Red Sox. Went to SC, but he also went to Riverside Junior College and the University of Mississippi. Graduate of Canyon Springs High School. And he's aboard. So Kielty walked in the 2nd inning. Now he walks here in the 4th. And the batter will be Kevin Cash, the catcher. And the wave just to turn the clock back. A wave at the Coliseum. Rippling on out down the line. Bless his heart and bless his memory. If Rod Serling were alive, he'd take us back to 50 years ago, make something special out of this night. Kevin Cash takes another one that misses. Cash was an infielder in high school and in college. When he was playing in the Cape Cod League, both catchers on his team got hurt. He volunteered to catch, and he's made a career out of it. And down he goes for the 2nd out. Kevin, who went to school at Florida State, he was in the '99 College World Series. So Cash takes a seat, and the batter will be Julio Lugo. In fact, Alex Cora in Lugo's spot, having taken over at shortstop. Had a chance to visit with Alex before the game. He has to be remembered to all the good folks here in Los Angeles. Cora, a terrific guy with a wonderful family. Played with the Dodgers from 1998 through 2004. Last night we were talking about that at-bat where Alex Cora fouled off 14 consecutive pitches. He was up at the plate for what seemed like an absolute eternity. And then after the 14 consecutive foul balls, wouldn't you know, he hit a home run. Alex, a very, very valuable infielder for the Red Sox. Hit .246 last year. From Caguas, Puerto Rico. Right. With the wave going on, and the Red Sox look up and said, all right, we'll do our wave. Why not? Yeah, now the Dodgers do their wave. That's great. It is a meaningless game that's so full of meaning. Comebacker. The Chan-Ho sets the Sox down, a base hit and nothing else. So quickly now, at the end of 3.5 innings, it remains Red Sox 5, Dodgers 1.
It's here and it's big. It's Dodge Truck Month. Driven by Dodge Ram 1500 with fuel-saving MDS technology that turns Hemi V8 power into a gas-sipping four-cylinder at cruising speeds. And it's backed by our lifetime powertrain warranty. With unlimited mileage, you're covered for as long as you own your truck. Now get a no extra charge Hemi, plus 0% financing for 60 months on Ram 1500. Get into Truck Month at your California Dodge dealer. It's gonna be huge.
Hey, I got your email about my value menu, and I was really touched.
I'm on a kind of a tight budget, so it's really cool that right now I can get a great deal, like 2 of your warm and flaky croissant sandwiches for just $3.
Most of the money I save is going to a college fund for this guy.
I want to be a psychiatrist.
And the rest goes into my monkey spaceship. Gotta follow your dreams, right? Not always.
If you're thinking about a career in law enforcement, then serve with the best, the California Highway Patrol. Call 1-888-4A-CHP-JOB.
For right now at the Coliseum, all of the lights will be turned out as Pee Wee Reese wheels the chair that holds Roy Campanella. Sea of lights at the Coliseum, perhaps the most beautiful and dramatic moment in the history of sport.
For all of us and for anyone who was there, it was not only the most memorable, it certainly was the most emotional night. And I remember remarking how many times Roy Campanella went to the mound to try and aid a pitcher who was hurting, a pitcher who was being batted around. How many times he went out there to soothe their spirits. And on that particular night, he had to be wheeled out to the mound. But his wheelchair was not a wheelchair. When occupied by Roy Campanella, believe me when I tell you, it was a throne. Jeff Kent swinging from the heels, fouls it away. Jeff grounded to third in the first inning, 0 for 1. Shaking his head at that knuckleball, the dancer as they used to call it. Oh, and 2 the count. Red Sox on 2 home runs. Kevin Cash with 2 men aboard. Kevin Youkilis with 1 man aboard. And they lead the Dodgers 5-1. The only Dodger run came in the first inning, set up on an error. Little chopper foul outside of third. You know, another thing I remember here, and it was when we first came here, not the 59 season, it was the 58 season. You'd have to be either a tremendous movie buff or have certainly a lot of years on you. You remember a beautiful actress, brunette. Her name was Gail Patrick. Maybe not, but she was, trust me, very attractive lady and a fine actress. Her husband's first name was Corny. I'm not sure if it was abbreviation for Cornelius, but Corny. And one of the very first games the Dodgers ever played here in the Coliseum, it was around the 4th, 5th inning, and all of a sudden, I heard a trumpet or a cornet, one of the two, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and the crowd roared. And all of us from the East said, what is that? Kent just hacking away. Well, we found out that was an SC charge from football. Now, what happened was every visiting broadcast group that came in here, they would hear ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and that would go back to their town. And don't you know, we'd be on the road, we'd be in Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden Pittsburgh would be coming up, and you'd hear ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. It went all around the country. And that movement started right here in the Coliseum.
Center fielder, Andrew
One
Jones.
out in the 4th inning, and Andrew Jones coming up. Andrew playing his strangest game, I'll bet. The center fielder who is spending the night behind second base on the grass, and actually had a put out on an attempted steal. So the Dodgers have opted to use him rather than a left fielder. Knocked down by Cora. Long throw is in time to get him. So Jones is down. Good play by Alex Cora. Well, here's a look at how our CarMax text message voting is going so far. Remember, we asked which game at the Coliseum would you had most wanted to attend? The first game in 1958, Roy Campanella night in 59, or the first World Series game in 59. So far, a tie. 36% of you said you'd like to go to Roy Campanella night. Another 30%, 36% said the World Series game. 28% so far saying they would like to have been here for Game 1 in 1958. Dodgers won that game, Game 1, back in April of 58, the 18th to be exact. Dodgers beat the Giants 6-5 in that game. Among other things, Willie Mays went 2 for 4. The winning pitcher was Carl Erskine, and the losing pitcher, well, that one's going to go down the line. Extra base hit perhaps, and then Loney jams on the brakes. So with 2 down, Loney is shot inside first for a single, and Matt Kemp will be coming up. So Carl Erskine, who is here tonight, was the winning pitcher on that first game. And Alan Worthington of the Giants suffered the loss. Time of game back in 1958 went 8.5 innings. Time of game 3 hours, 78,672. Well, there goes Loney, and the throw is off the glove of Pedroia, but holding on at second is Loney. He'd have been out easily. That was a great backup by Cora. So James Loney running on the knuckleballer and gets in there when the throw is off the glove of Pedroia. A great backup by Alex Cora, and Loney has to hold his ground with the stolen base. So the Dodgers have 2 stolen bases. They also had an advancement on a wild pitch. All part of the problems of a knuckleballer. Matt Kemp singled to left field in the second inning, got around as far as third, but stayed there when Juan Pierre struck out. And that's hit to right center field, but very playable and picked off by Coco Crisp. So no runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of 4 at the Coliseum, 5-1 Red Sox.
Before instant replay, Before yellow flags, before helmets, there were leather heads.
You hit anybody that comes near him. Right. Oh, I like him.
This Friday.
Certain jobs are always going to be done by men.
Big strapping man?
A couple of plays we ran at Princeton.
A lot of our plays are pretty strong.
These are a lot like your plays, only a little more effective.
Leatherheads, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
Go! 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 Go!
Now, for the first time ever, get $1,000 cash back or 2-9 financing on a new 36 MPG 08 Toyota Yaris.
With the Dish DVR, I can record my favorite shows. And it stores up to 500 hours of entertainment.
Are you serious? With that tiny little remote, you can record thousands and thousands of things?
Yeah.
You hear that, Tiger? We can watch thousands of things in my house. Give me a call. Would that be crazy or what?
Are you talking to the Tiger?
What do you think I'm talking to, you terrible knucklehead?
Get the best HD DVR, free. It's better than TiVo. And 3 months of programming, free. Never miss anything with a Dish DVR from Dish Network.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. That's the way it started early today, and slowly but surely as the sun set in the west and the crowds kept coming and coming, and here they are, 115,200 of them. Seeing a pretty good game, 5-1 Red Sox. Chan Ho Park in his second inning of work, and it'll be Dustin Pedroia, then the DH, and then Jed Lowry. 0-1 to count to Pedroia. Pedroia, one of the many reasons why the Red Sox were so successful. As a rookie, he enjoyed one of the finest seasons by a Red Sox rookie in the last 50 years. He was the American League Rookie of the Year. He had .317 to lead all the rookies. Dustin out of Woodland, California, lives over in Chandler, Arizona. He attended Arizona State. He was one of the top 5 finalists for the Golden Spikes Award. So Pedroia had a remarkable year. In fact, he played more second base for a rookie for the Red Sox than anyone in 40 years. And he lifts one, and there's Andrew Jones, who is everywhere, making the catch. A little more familiar with making a catch than making a tag. One away. Say, don't forget, you can make pledges to Think Cure throughout the game by calling 866-554-CURE. Sean Casey will now come up and bat for David Ortiz as the designated hitter. So here's the mayor. Always fun to watch him lift that back leg. It never fails. He appeared last night as a DH, went 1 for 2, base hit. Ball 1. Chan Ho Park has allowed just 1 hit and a walk, 1 strikeout, working his second inning. One ball, 1 strike. We're happy to say it is not only a festive crowd, a family crowd, but as far as we can see, a very well-behaved crowd. 1-1. 2-1. Dodgers and Red Sox will go at it one more time. Tomorrow, Clay Buchholz, who pitched a no-hitter against Baltimore last year, will go against Hiroki Kuroda. And then opening day at Dodger Stadium Monday with Barry Zito on the mound for the Giants and Brad Penny for the Dodgers. So one of the friendliest players around, Sean Casey at the plate. Casey went to the University of Richmond, second team All-American, graduate of Upper St. Clair High School, broke in with Cleveland, then years with Cincinnati, and last year wound up after being with Detroit. And down he goes. So 2 down here in the 5th inning. Chan-Ho Park picking up a K. There you go. I was there. You certainly were. Jed Lowry finishing up for Mike Lowell as he did last night. And lifting one foul off to the left, out of play, back into the crowd. For Jed Lowry out of Salem, Oregon. He'll be 24 in April. Attended Stanford University. Big rip, down he goes. So Chan-Ho picks up his second strikeout of the inning, his third in 2 innings, and at the end of 4.5, it's 5-1 Boston.
High gas prices stopping you in your tracks? Fly, don't drive. With Southwest Airlines Internet specials, you can fly nonstop from the LA area to Phoenix for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
The Dodgers buy 2 get 2 free season ticket package includes 4 season seats for the price of 2 at Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS.
It's a new day at your Chrysler dealer, where there's no better time to get the Chrysler you want. We're giving you better value, no extra charge dual DVDs on Town & Country Signature Series. Or 0% financing for 60 months on Sebring Convertible, Pacifica, and Aspen. But the Chrysler New Day sales event won't last long, so you better hurry. Or qualified returning Chrysler lessees get a low-mileage lease on 300LX for $199 a month.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by the Lexus RX 350 with 14 actively safe features continuing the pursuit of perfection. And by Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today. The Coliseum in 1958, where the Dodgers first came here. As we go to the bottom of the 5th tonight, we're going to show you what it was like since we've been turning the clock back from the brilliant color of today back to the black and white of 50 years ago. Yeah, it was much tougher to see the crowd in black and white, but that was the best we had. That's the way it looked.
the Dodgers, number 9, Juan Pierre.
Dodgers a 7th place team that year. Meanwhile, Juan Pierre, then Blake DeWitt and Rafael Furcal. The Dodger front office had to make a decision in coming out to California. They knew the ball club that had been a National League champion in '56 started to hit the skids in '57. And they had to make a decision. Is it going to be a veteran club, which is a euphemism for an old club, or should we bring a whole bunch of kids and start with them? And it was a very wise decision to go with the familiar names, albeit an old club, and they didn't play very well, and they finished 7th in 1958. And then, even though in New York they talk about the miracle Mets, believe me, the 1959 Dodgers, they were the miracle Dodgers. In fact, they were the first team to go from 7th place to become world champions. They beat the Braves in a nose-to-nose race and then went on to beat the Chicago White Sox 50 years ago. Blake DeWitt popped up in the 3rd inning. Red Sox have done it on a home run by Euclid and a home run by Cash. Cash with 2 on, Euclid with 1 aboard. Of course, part of the charm for all of us when we came to the Coliseum was the transistor radio. Caught on like wildfire. And the Dodgers, when they arrived here to play all the other teams in the National League, the people in Los Angeles knew all about Willie Mays. They knew about Stan Musial. They knew about the superstars. But they really weren't familiar with the rank and file players. Well, just imagine if you come to the Coliseum and you sat where some of the people are sitting tonight. I mean, way up there, way far away from the playing field. So high up, the players really look like dots. As you can see, Don Newcomb leaving the ballpark. So the transistor radio was a big help to folks sitting high up. They can listen to the game and learn a little bit about players they were not familiar with. And it was because of the transistor radio that I decided one night to have some fun. There's a drive into right center field, but Ellsbury is there. Nice play. 2 down. I was looking through the Green Book, just looking for something to talk about. It was a dull game. Came across the name of umpire Frank Sikori. And in looking at it, I thought, holy mackerel, it's Frank's birthday. Now, you could hear yourself in the ballpark. As I say, it wasn't me. It was the fact that people needed help to learn about some of the players. And now I rolled the dice. I said, hey, Frank Sikori's birthday is today. What do you say on the count of 3 we all holler happy birthday, Frank? Ground ball to 3rd, and that'll be that. Anyway, they did. But later on, I was scared to death, thinking, what happens if they don't join me? And at the end of the inning, it is still 5-1 Red Sox. Welcoming back the heroes who brought baseball to the West. And now we want to put the spotlight on heroes who don't usually draw the crowds or hear the ovations. They work silently, brilliantly, and heroically to save lives, to find cures, and to rid our communities of a hated disease, whose eradication is now within our view. These are the doctors, the scientists, the researchers, the scholars from City of Hope and Children's Hospital, LA. We are America's City of Hope, We are America's personification of faith. We are the ones fortunate to play on the field of dreams. We have the opportunity to help, to give, to think cure, to complete the work that lets those with cancers live, that those with cancer be cured, and that let those children of today and tomorrow never know firsthand about a disease that we want to relegate to the history books. Just as nearly 100,000 fans did nearly 50 years ago in the stadium to welcome their paralyzed hero, Roy Campanella, won't you please now express the light in your heart and in your hand, the hope in your soul, and the commitment of your support to these heroes who promised to bring us a new day, who promised to make the next 50 years unlike the last 50 years. They are our hope. They are our heroes. They deserve our gratitude for helping to make our most precious dreams come true. This field is indeed a field of dreams, and it does something reminding all of us that once was good and can be again. So people have come, and they have come with a message. Survivors, we salute you. Nurses and families, we commend you. To the doctors, scientists, and researchers, we thank you. We place our hope in your hands and commit to carry the torch, to think cure.
To the doctors, scientists, and researchers, we thank you. We place our hope in your hands and commit to carry the torch, to think cure. Thanks to you all for your wonderful work. We are grateful. Now, fans, please.
50 years of innovation, performance, and building dependable cars and trucks have led to this. Nissan's 50th anniversary sales event. See your Nissan dealer now for special 50th anniversary deals on every Nissan. Like $12.50 cash back on Sentra or Altima, just $199 a month. Nissan's Big 5-0. This event ends March 31st. Don't miss it.
If it's new, when it's happening now,
storm weather conditions are deteriorating
as the storm moves in, bringing strong winds and power.
You'll see it here on KCAL 9 News.
Reporter David Goldstein has been investigating a scam. Promising these people you can save their home.
Live, local, late breaking. KCAL 9 News at 8, 9, and 10 p.m.
It's the hottest crossover in America. It's the Ford Edge. And now it comes with the Sun and Sink lease that's just $279 a month. You get the amazing Vista roof, biggest sunroof in its class, luxurious leather seating, the convenient power lift gate, and you get Sync, powered by Microsoft. The remarkable voice-activated phone and entertainment system. All this for only $279 a month. The Edge Sun and Sink lease, a very hot reason to visit your California Ford dealer.
Hi, everybody. John Ireland with you again here in the Coliseum Commissioner's Room. We have Dodger alumni like Ron Fairley, who you see there, helping us work the phones and reminding you to call 866-554-CURE. Make a contribution to Think Cure and help us beat cancer. Now, back to Dodger baseball here on KCAL 9.
And here at the Coliseum, a salute to all of the many heroes, doctors, nurses, those who are in the front lines in the battle against cancer. The torch has been lit, the torch has been passed, the responsibility has been passed to each and every one of us to make the biggest contribution that we possibly can make to beat the enemy. So we salute doctors, nurses, experts, and the hard work they do behind the scenes, far from the spotlight, far from the adulation and the cheers of the crowd. And in their silence, they get the work done. Dodgers make two changes. Chin Lung Hu is now at shortstop for Rafael Furcal. Delwyn Young is now the left fielder. But Delwyn Young, even though he thinks he's the left fielder, is taking over for Andrew Jones, and he's just about 20 feet on the grass behind second base. Lars Anderson, a young first baseman, finishing up for Kevin Youkilis. Well, Lars, of course, finishing up for a Gold Glove first baseman, and he probably drives one to the screen, and that's going to be off the screen for a long single for Anderson, and the batter will be Coco Crisp, or a substitute. We'll see. Terry Francona last night, remember, substituted freely after he got to the fifth inning. But here's Coco Crisp. Crisp struck out, hit back to the box, 0 for 2. And a chopper that's going to go off the glove and on out into right field for the base hit. And Crisp is not going to slow down, but he pays the price on the throw from Matt Kemp into second base. And Chin Lung Hu makes the tag. So he is burned to a crisp on that play. Base hit to right, and then he's erased 9-6. Anderson going all the way to third on the base hit to right. And Jacoby Ellsbury coming up.
Jacoby Ellsbury.
When the Red Sox swept the Colorado Rockies in the World Series, Jacoby Ellsbury, the rookie, he hit .438 in that series. One ball and no strikes, they count. We're in the sixth inning with one out. Joe Torre, one more exhibition game under his belt. That'll be tomorrow. And then it's all for keeps. Barry Zito on the mound for the Giants, and Brad Penny will open up. And of course, Chan Ho Park following Esteban Loaiza. And that's the race nose to the wire. One of the two will make the starting rotation. That's a strike. Delwyn Young has now moved onto the infield as Lars Anderson comes down the line from third. And that'll be ball 4 to Jacoby Ellsbury and bring up Bobby Kilty. First and third, one out. They will have a runner for the Red Sox, and it would be Brandon Moss, whom we saw last night finishing up. He's an outfielder. So Moss running for Ellsbury. Anderson down the line from third. Bobby Kilty walked twice. And promptly slaps it into the hole, and that's going to find its way to the outfield, and nobody there. Coming over to get it is Andre Ethier, and by the time he does, another run is in. So 6-1 in favor. Once the ball got by the diving DeWitt, the Dodgers really didn't have a left fielder. So Ethier had to come over and retrieve and get it back in.
Number 7 takes place, now the pinch runner.
Kilty coming out for a runner, and it will be Jason Place. So the Red Sox 6 runs on 7 hits. Dodgers just 1 run on 3 hits. Chan Ho allowing his first run. Check swing. That's a strike. Second and third for the Red Sox. Place at second, Moss at third. Anderson brought in the run. And Kevin Cash trying to cash him in, of course. So with Cash striking out, we have 2 down, 4 strikeouts for Chan Ho. And the batter will be Alex Cora. And hold everything now. There'll be a meeting at the mound. Joe going out to talk to Chan Ho. Dodger bullpen is stacked down the left field side. Greg Jones has been throwing down there. Chan Ho, meanwhile, would love to stay in. However, Torrey's going to take him out. That's not exactly a quick hook. If you were with us last night, Joe Beimel faced Sean Casey, made one pitch, missed, made another pitch. Casey singled, and Joe took him out. And we'll be back.
This April at Pechanga Resort and Casino, all club members earn 5 times points all day, every day, 24/7. That's right. Play any game, anytime, any day. And club members earn 5 times points at Pechanga Resort and Casino. Are you in yet?
Saturday, April 12th, all kids 14 and under in attendance receive this cool Russell Martin batting practice jersey T-shirt, compliments of Craig and Auto Parts. Visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS today. He is absolutely amazing, and he gets a well-deserved ovation from the crowd.
Please keep your personal items in your possession at all times. Welcome to Utah. Whether you're here for a gorgeous red rose or the greatest one.
Welcome to Utah, where endless adventure is easy to find. With our 5 national parks and 43 state parks, come ready to play. To request a travel guide, visit www.utah.travel.
This April at Pechanga Resort and Casino, all club members earn 5 times points all day, every day, 24/7. That's right. Play any game, anytime, any day. And club members earn 5 times points at Pechanga Resort and Casino. Are you in yet?
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by CarMax, the way car buying should be. And by your Southern California Chrysler dealers. Chrysler, engineered beautifully. Greg Jones in relief of Chan Ho Park. And he misses to Cora. 1 ball and no strikes. Greg is certainly big enough to do the job. 6'2", about 210, out of Clearwater, Florida. Went to Seminole High School. Been pitching since 1997. Came up very briefly with the Angels 5 years ago. Went back down below. Came up again with the Angels, up and down for the last 3 years. And hoping to hook on with the Dodgers. Alex fouling it off. 2-1 to count. Six to 1 in favor of the Red Sox. Dodgers got a run in the first inning. Boston scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third. They have another one here in the sixth. They're in business. Runners at second and third with 2 out. So Jones trying to get the last out against Cora. In the dirt. Nice block by Russell Martin. Jones unable to get on track when he was with the Angels last year. He had an earned run average over 6. So he went to Salt Lake City. He's been up and down from Salt Lake City ever since 2002. And Cora bangs it up the middle. That's good for one. And on the bobble, holding at third is Place. Moss brings the run in. And it's now 7-1 Red Sox. So Jones isn't the answer as Cora greets him with a single. Base hit is charged to Jones. The run is charged to Park. And the batter now, Dustin Pedroia. Argenis Diaz will run for Cora at first base. Argenis Diaz. First and third. 2 runs in. 7-1 in favor of the Red Sox. Joe Thurston, formerly with the Dodgers, finished up at second base last night. And Joe is coming up to hit for Pedroia, and then he'll stay in the game. Breaking ball strike, 0-1. Joe Thurston out of Fairfield, California. He'll be 29 in September. Joe came up with the Dodgers 6 years ago briefly. And then he was on the elevator up and down from 02, 03, 04. Finally went down and didn't come up again. Next time he did surface briefly 2 years ago with Philadelphia and went right back down to the minors again. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sox trying to run away with it now, 7-1 and first and third. At third base down the line, Brandon Moss, and over at first base, Argenis Diaz. I'm not sure if they will actually announce the official paid attendance. They did say before the game they had sold 115,200 tickets. So Thurston unable to hang in there and strikes out. That ends the inning, but not before the Red Sox add 2 and lead 7-1.
Yeah. You have 88 minutes to live. Who the hell is this? I received a threatening phone call.
You better turn on the TV.
I find it hard to believe that Dr. Jack Graham can be psychobabbling innocent people into the death chamber.
What's going on? Dale Morris was murdered.
They found evidence that implicates you.
Who's a murderer now, Jack?
Can't you see this as a frame?
Did I fire bullets at myself? Did I blow up my car?
It's genius, isn't it?
I'm gonna find you.
88 minutes. Rated R. In theaters everywhere, April 18th.
This April at the Changa Resort and Casino, all club members earn 5 times points all day, every day, 24/7. That's right. Play any game, anytime, any day. And club members earn 5 times points at the Changa Resort and Casino. Are you in yet?
When are you guys headed home? I don't know. Oh, I don't know either, and I'm sure you don't want to miss the Honda Spring Countdown, so I brought it with me. Great deals on everything, from the cool new Accords to the fuel-efficient Civic.
I do like the Accord. Does it come without the raccoon?
Yeah. Most do. Lease a Civic LX for $199 a month during the Honda Spring Countdown.
This April at the Changa Resort and Casino, all club members earn 5 times points all day, every day, 24/7. That's right. Play any game, anytime, any day. And club members earn 5 times points at the Changa Resort and Casino. Are you in yet?
Friends, here's a look at how our CarMax text message voting is going so far. We asked which game of the Coliseum would you most want to attend. The first game in 1958, Roy Campanella night in 59, or the first World Series game in '59. So far, 43% of you have voted for the first World Series game, 36% for Roy Campanella night, and 21% for the first game in LA. Text your answer to 86212 on your cell. You're also eligible to win a grand prize package for two, a trip to spring training in Arizona with the Dodgers, airfare, hotel, and 2 tickets to 2 games tossed in as well. Each text message costs 50 cents. Bottom of the 6th inning, and the Dodgers buried 7-1 against the knuckleballer Dick Wakefield. Russell Martin will start it off. And a knuckleball is lifted foul on the other side of the screen behind home plate and back into the crowd. Sox making a lot of changes as they did last night. So we'll have to run him down for you. For Wakefield, tossing one knuckleball after another. Dodgers are not going to see many knuckleballers anyway. They'll start with Barry Zito on Monday. And that's going to be hit to left field. And that will go off that 65-foot screen. And so Russell Martin with a high fly ball single to left. 1959, the Dodgers in the World Series with the Chicago White Sox. Wally Moon making the last put out. Maury Wills is there. Don Demeter is there to mob him. And as the Dodgers run off the field, they've done the amazing thing. They went from 7th place in '58 to World Championship in '59. And that's going to be hit into right field. That's a base hit. Going down to second is Angel Chavez, who is running for Russell Martin. And the Dodgers are in business. First and second and nobody out. So Ethier, who had driven in the only Dodger run with a scoring fly ball, and he'll be coming out now. And the Dodgers have a runner, number 17, and that will be Jason Repko, who will be running now for Ethier. So Wakefield, after going through 5, he'll be coming out. We'll have a new pitcher coming up as Tim walks off leading 7-1, and we'll be back.
It's here and it's big. It's Dodge Truck Month. Driven by the legendary Cummins turbo diesel power of Dodge Ram 3500 Heavy Duty, where the only thing bigger than spacious Ram Mega Cab or even Ram Chassis Cab's job-rated capability is the deal. Now during Truck Month, get up to $4,500 cash allowance or 0% APR financing for 60 months on Ram trucks. Get into Truck Month at your California Dodge dealer. It's gonna be huge.
Before instant replay. Before yellow flags. Before helmets. There were leather heads.
You hit anybody that comes near him. Right. Oh, I like him.
This Friday.
Certain jobs are always going to be done by men.
Big strapping man?
A couple of plays we ran at Princeton.
A lot of our plays are pretty strong.
These are a lot like your plays, only a little more effective.
Leatherheads, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
It's a new day at your Chrysler dealer, where there's no better time to get the Chrysler you want. We're giving you better value, no extra charge dual DVDs on Town & Country Signature Series. Or 0% financing for 60 months on Sebring Convertible, Pacifica, and Aspen. But the Chrysler New Day sales event won't last long, so you better hurry. Or qualified returning Chrysler lessees get a low-mileage lease on 300LX for $199 a month.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today. and by your Southern California Dodge dealers. Live life to the fullest. Dodge. Grab life. With the Red Sox leading the Dodgers 7-1 here at the Coliseum, Brian Corey comes in to pick up for Tim Wakefield. Nice touch because Brian, a local boy, lives in Mesa, Arizona, went to Pierce Junior College in Los Angeles and graduated from Thousand Oaks High School. He was with Boston in 9 games last year, and he was 1-0, an ERA of just under 2. Ground ball hard to third, one there, and late there, and in time there. So it is a double play and winds up going around the horn, and they get the outs at each corner. So Kent hits into the double play, the force at third, the miss at second, and then the out at first. So 2 down, and the Dodgers now have Delwyn Young coming up. Young finishing up for Andrew Jones, who was 0 for 2. And he probably bangs it to right field, but Brandon Moss picks it off, and just like that, local boy Brian Corey comes in and stops the rally. And at the end of 6, 7-1 Red Sox.
Today, there's one thing you can count on. Getting a great deal on a tough, reliable Toyota truck. Choose $3,000 cash back or 0 APR on any new 08 Tundra. Motor Trend's 2008 Truck of the Year. There's even $1,000 back or 0 financing on any new 08 Tacoma. No wonder truck guys are making the switch to tough, reliable Toyota trucks. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today.
Hey, Raj, word is you refiled your taxes and got an even bigger refund.
Word travels fast, huh?
You refiled your taxes? How?
Big brain.
So what'd you put down for Schedule C?
I don't want to get too technical. Pretty complicated.
Try Second Look. We found bigger refunds for over half our clients. Those we refiled got back $1,300 more on average, just $29.
What's your secret? I got people. People? Yeah, they took a second look at my taxes, found a whole bunch of money my whole guy missed.
Second Look. Call or go online for an appointment.
Which company sells more used cars than anyone else in America? Which company is consistently one of the most admired companies in the auto industry? Which used car company has been named one of the 100 best companies to work for 4 years in a row? Which car company can say all of that? CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Champions of the National League. The impossible has happened.
Your attention, please.
Red Sox holding on to a 7-1 lead. They've been leading since the second inning when they had a home run by Kevin Cash with 2 men aboard. So here we go, moving into the 7th inning, and Takashi Saito will be on the mound for the Dodgers.
The Red Sox, number 22, Sean Casey.
Sean Casey will start it off here in the 7th, then Jed Lowry. And for Takashi Saito, with opening day just 2 days away, another important outing. He's 1-1 with an ERA of 7. That's a strike. Takashi's only been in 5 games and worked 5 innings, so he's still pretty much behind the rest of the staff. He had a calf that cramped up. He also had some stiffness in the buttocks area. And the Dodgers need him to get healthy, get in some work, and catch up. 91% of his save opportunities he cashed in the last 2 years. The Red Sox have a fine Japanese pitcher, Okajima, which brings up the point that during spring training, there were 32 Asian players in Major League camp. 24 Asian players were on Major League rosters. 8 players were invited. Of the 32, 21 were pitchers and 11 were position players. Delwyn Young in the Andrew Jones spot behind second base, the short center fielder, so to speak. Sean Casey struck out in the 5th inning. David Ortiz had doubled and grounded out. So the Red Sox have one more exhibition game, and then they will go to Oakland and play for keeps, pick up where they left off in Japan when they split 2. And the Dodgers open up with the Giants Monday afternoon. The Dodgers with their 5-man infield. Angel Chavez is between first and second, and Delwyn Young is on the grass. A different alignment, and of course in a different ballpark. It was Branch Rickey who had the idea of a 5-man infield, but he did not have it set up this way. What he would do in a bunt situation, let's say a pitcher was going to come up in what you were sure was a bunt situation, he'd take an outfielder and put him halfway between third and home. It wasn't to really defend. What it was to do was to make a poor hitting pitcher swing away. That was the whole theory behind it. Meanwhile, Casey draws a walk. But he never thought of a 5-man infield this way. Of course, he never thought of playing a game without a left fielder. Jeff Lowry now coming up. Mike Lowell fouled out, singled, and struck out. He went 1 for 3. Big night at the Coliseum. 115,300 with the tickets sold, and I would certainly think the majority of the tickets sold, the people came here for sure. Quite a sight watching the ballpark fill up, hear and feel the enthusiasm of the crowd. A family crowd tonight, especially people who were so interested in baseball and who wanted to make a charitable contribution. They wanted to try and see what it was like 50 years ago. Seven to 1 Red Sox. We're in the 7th inning. Casey at first, Lowry at the plate, Lars Anderson, the first baseman, to follow. If Saito is not quite ready to close, the Dodgers have one comfortable thought. They could rely on Jonathan Broxton until Takashi is 100%. Two balls and 2 strikes the count. Nobody out. Casey at first, held on by Loney. Chavez, Hu, and DeWitt on the infield, along with the ever-present Delwyn Young. Two and 2. And that's going to go foul down the line, out of play. 7 runs, 9 hits for the Red Sox. 1 run, 5 hits for the Dodgers. You know, one of the biggest rhubarbs ever. I mean, I can't remember seeing one that lasted longer than an argument that occurred here in a Giant Dodger game so many years ago. See the screen in left field. You can see the foul pole, and you can see the support, and that's going to go towards that screen and land at the base of the wall. Finally dug out, and there are runners at second and third. Willie Mays hit a ball right down the left field line, and the girder supporting the screen and the foul pole were just about together. And there were wires at the very top where the supporting girder and the home plate was, way up in there, and a ton of wires, cables if you wish. Well, when the ball went up in the air down the left field line, the third base umpire, his name was Dusty Bodges, big delightful guy, and Dusty wanted to turn to make the call. Got his legs crossed and fell flat on his back like a beached whale, floundering and trying to wave and make a call. If you could imagine being on your back, feet towards home plate, and trying to look back down the left field line and make a call, you can understand Dusty's problem. Well, first it was called a home run. And then Walter Alston came out and argued, and so they decided to call it a foul ball. And then Bill Rigney, who was then the manager of the Giants, came out, and he always had a habit of waving his hands back and forth like somebody drying his nails after a manicure. I can still see him do that. Well, he was on one side of poor Dusty and Walter was on the other. I bet it lasted 20 minutes. You know what they did? They split the difference. They said give him a double. Now, there was no way it could be a double. It was either a home run or a foul ball, but they had to come to some kind of a Solomon-like decision. And so they gave Willie a double. But that was, without a doubt, the biggest rhubarb that ever occurred in the 4 years that the Dodgers played in the Coliseum. And wouldn't you know, it was in a Giant-Dodger game. Wow. 7-1 in favor of the Red Sox. We're in the 7th inning. Lars Anderson is finishing up for Kevin Youkilis. He'll be coming up after Lowry takes a seat. And with one out, Anderson the hitter, followed by Jason Price. And that fastball misses. One of the problems in spring training, not only the changing of the personnel, but a lot of times the public address announcer is not quite sure. And in the mix-up defensively today, where an outfielder is playing directly behind second base, you can understand they're having some problems. We do know that with runners at second and third, the Sox trying to get some more. And some happy smiling faces. Don't miss out on the Dodgers season-long celebration of their 50th anniversary. Be here for all the festivities. One of the best deals in baseball. The Dodgers buy 2 get 2 free season ticket offer. 4 season seats for the price of 2. For details, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Reed Engel is now the hitter, though Engel, who is in crisp spot at the plate. Reed, left-hand hitter, and hits one foul. 0-1. Saito trying to get out of a jam, and that's fouled back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes, the count on Reed Engel. Runners at second and third for Boston. Reed Engel, born in San Diego and lives in Monument, Colorado. Only 20 years old. He'll be 21 in May, just really starting out. He was at Single A Greenville last year. So you know a lot of these kids are not going to be playing, and Engel goes down. Saito picks up his second strikeout. Well, the crowd has been announced. 115,300. That is the largest crowd to ever see a baseball game. As I understand the story, and Joe Torre's going to the mound, there was a track meet in Australia. And before this tremendous track meet, they were playing a baseball game in the big track meet stadium. So as the crowd continued to file in and the baseball game was being played, suddenly the last 2 innings of the baseball game was being witnessed by this huge crowd. And I remember the crowd was somewhere up around 114,000. So they said, well, that's a record. That's the largest crowd to ever see a baseball game. Well, tonight, 115,300, a baseball world record, and a major step and a great effort in the direction of Think Cure. We'll be back.
It wasn't that the H's felt unappreciated. That's not why they left their homes. Skipped out on dictionaries, alphabets, and headlines.
H, please.
They simply found a better place to live. The power of H. The Litz's hybrids.
He's an expert at solving murders.
All the serial killers that I studied, none of them were legally insane.
April 18th.
You have 88 minutes to live.
Who the hell is this?
Tick-tock.
He'll have 88 minutes
Somebody's trying to kill me.
to solve his own.
How do I know that you haven't gone completely over the edge?
Did I blow up my car? Did I fire bullets at myself?
37 minutes.
Your time on Earth is drawing to a close.
I'm going to find you. 88 minutes. Rated R. In theaters everywhere, April 18th.
Mike Koploff being brought in to try to bail the Dodgers out. Mike's a veteran. He's been around. Came up and spent a few years with Arizona. 01, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 06. Last year, he went to Buffalo and then came up with Cleveland, and he'll be pitching to Brandon Moss with runners at second and third and 2 out. And the Red Sox trying to beat the Dodgers for the first time in spring training tonight and leading handily 7-1. And ball 1. Second and third. Brandon Moss and Mike Koploff. And that's a shot picked up at first by Loney, takes it to the bag, and the inning is over. So no runs, 2 left, and at the end of 6.5, 7-1 Boston.
It wasn't that the H's felt unappreciated. That's not why they left their homes. Skipped out on dictionaries, alphabets, and headlines.
H, please.
They simply found a better place to live. The power of H. The Litz's hybrids.
Start the party.
Celebrating 50 years in L.A. on your Dodger station, KCAL9. Dodgers, Giants, the legendary rivalry. Wednesday at 6:30 on KCAL9.
Come on, baby, tell me what's the word.
Stop on in. Look at these SUVs. Listen to this. Great highway fuel economy is available in a full-size SUV like Chevy Tahoe. It's best in its class, better than Ford, better than Toyota. Get your full-size SUV with 0% APR financing for 60 months, that's $74.84 in average finance savings. Shop Chevy now. See your Southern California Chevy dealer or visit SoCalChevy.com.
The youngsters leading the crowd and take me out to the ball game. And you just imagine how many years will go by and they'll be able to tell their children, oh yes, I was there the night of 115,300 at the Coliseum. And family night indeed, as the Red Sox and the Dodgers get to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sox 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 big home runs, 3-run home run by Kevin Cash, and a 2-run home run by Kevin Youkilis. The only Dodger run, Rafael Furcal singled, took second on an overthrow by Wakefield, sending him to second, took third on a fly ball by Russell Martin, and came home on a fly ball by Andre Ethier, and that's it. Dodger offense completely shut down with just that 1 run in the 1st inning. Brian Corey working now on James Loney, who has struck out and singled out and takes a strike, 0-1. It will be awkward to get out. It was awkward to get in. But I think everybody concerned will say the evening was very worthwhile, and especially when all is said and done, when you realize the proceeds will be going to Think Cure. And don't forget, you can make pledges to Think Cure throughout the game. You still have plenty of time to call 866-554-CURE. High twisting foul ball out of play. So Brian Corey, raised in T.O., Thousand Oaks. Dodgers have an awful lot of work to do if they hope to get back into the game. And Loney drives one to left field towards the screen, and that one is over the screen. Shades of Wally Moon as the left-hand hitting James Loney clears the 65-foot high screen in left field. So that makes it 7-2 in favor of the Red Sox. But I'm glad for the people here that they see a left-hand hitter clear the screen, because so many of them are young fans who have read about Wally Moon and home runs over the screen, and finally they have an idea what it's like as James Loney plays the role of Wally Moon. So Matt Kemp, who has singled and flied out, 1 for 2. Seven runs, 10 hits for the Red Sox, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. Red Sox last year in their 18 meetings with the Yankees, and of course that's their huge rivalry. They were 8-10 against New York. In fact, the Red Sox, despite winning the World Championship last year, 07, they've lost the season series to the Yankees 3 straight years. The Yankees 2 years ago really gave Terry and the boys a bad time. Directed by Joe Torre, the Yankees came to Boston 2 years ago and beat the Sox 7 out of 9. Last year, when the Red Sox won the championship, the Yankees won 4 of 9. And of course, Boston, under the guidance of young Terry Francona, twice world champs in 2004, 2007. But the Red Sox have a lot of glistening credentials. They've won at least 95 games 4 times in the last 5 years. Last year they won 96 and 66, and now the Dodgers have a base hit by Matt Kemp on the heels of the home run by Loney. So Matt Kemp is 2 for 3. Mark Sweeney will now come up, and he'll be the DH hitting for Pierre.
Number 47, Mark Sweeney.
Pierre, as the designated hitter, had struck out and grounded out, so it's not so much any inference about Pierre. It's just a chance to get Sweeney an at bat, keep him sharp. One ball and no strikes. Bottom of the 7th. Red Sox holding on to what is now a 7-2 lead. And Sweeney lifts one down the left field line, slicing foul and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hard ground ball through into right field, base hit. Kemp is on his way, going into third base ahead of the throw easily. So Mark Sweeney does what he does so exceptionally well, come off the bench and deliver. So in the inning, a home run by Loney, a single by Kemp, single by Sweeney, and the batter is Blake DeWitt, the Dodger young third baseman. Blake DeWitt popped to short and flied to right, so he's 0 for 2. Blake out of Missouri and from the Show Me State has certainly had an opportunity to show his wares, with Garcia Parra down, with LaRoche down, now with Tony Abreu down. He has what could be considered a golden opportunity. Ball 1. Don't forget, tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, Clay Buchholz and Hiroki Kurata for the Dodgers. Buchholz had a no-hitter last year against Baltimore. He has struggled a bit, we understand, in the spring. Hiroki Kurata is 1-1 in 6 games over a stretch of just about 20 innings. Kurata's the fellow they say that over in Japan in his career he completed better than 30% of his starts. Of course, over there they let the pitchers throw an awful lot of pitches. Two balls and 1 strike. Still nobody out. Home run by Loney. Kemp a single. Sweeney a single. DeWitt trying to keep it going. 2-1. Fouled away. 2-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
Big fastball to put him away. So it's been pretty obvious all spring that Blake DeWitt might be over his head as far as hitting big league pitching. He was batting .208 before tonight, but they sure need him right now. They need his glove. Shin-Lung Hu finishing up at shortstop for Rafael Furcal. That's a strike. 0-1. Dodgers at the corners. Matt Kemp at third. Mark Sweeney at first. So Brian Corey very much on his game now, trying to fight his way off the ropes. The young man from Taiwan, Shin-Lung Hu. Little nubber. The out recorded at first, and a close play it was. Moving down to second base goes Sweeney, holding with the ball ahead of him, Kemp. And with runners at second and third and 2 down, the Dodgers will have Angel Chavez coming up. So Angel Chavez, right-hand batter, ready to check in. Angel spent the entire last year at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Certainly Joe Torre knows all about Angel Chavez. He had been in the Giant organization, got over into the Yankee organization, a versatile infielder, and the Dodgers will be his 5th organization. Chavez came up briefly 3 years ago with the Giants and hit .263. Had a big year in Scranton, hit .291. 26 years old, out of Panama. Second and third, 2 down, 7-2 Red Sox. 1-2 to Angel. So Brian Corey trying to finish it off here in the 7th. And a shot back to the pitcher Corey, who waits for his first baseman and fights his way out of the jam. So the Dodgers with a home run, 2 other hits, but get but 1 and still trail 7-2.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines Internet specials. Fly nonstop within California for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
There's fun. Then there's 5 times the fun. It's Mazda's 5 to Drive sales event. Choose any one of these 5 fun to drive Mazdas and get a great low lease. That's great lease deals on 5 great Mazdas. Like the fun to drive Mazda 3i Touring for a low $199 a month lease for 24 months with $2,199 due at lease signing. The award-winning Mazda CX-7 and CX-9 have great offers too. Hurry, this event ends March 31st.
And now Bevmo takes 1 nickel, 1 bottle of wine, and turns it into 2. It's the Bevmo 5-cent wine sale. Buy one of over 150 quality wines and the second bottle just 5 cents. You can't go wrong at Bevmo.
Oh, babe, you got a little something right here.
What, over here?
more sort of in this area.
Can I get it?
Chili cheeseburgers. Back at Carl's Jr.
This is Tommy Lasorda, and we're all here in this stadium for the same reason, to work to cure cancer. Cure is the one that we need. All of you people who are watching this program, give whatever you can, because someday we'll all be here to see them cure cancer. Thank you very much.
Well, we move along, and they have made the announcement and got the resounding roar from the crowd. And again, we remind you to pledge to Think Cure as we post the number 115,300 strong coming to the Coliseum to see this exhibition game between the Red Sox and the Dodgers. And I'm sure as memorable as it is for the spectators, I tell you what, for the young fellas wearing baseball uniforms down there, it's a game they'll never forget, I'm sure. You're going to hear them talking to the grandkids. Oh, yeah, I played in that game. Well, Mike Koplov has played in the game as he misses to the leadoff man, Jason Place. 7-2 Boston. Slides that in nicely for a strike. When Koplov was with Arizona, he pitched in a lot of games. He was in 217 games, sprinkled over a couple of years. In many is 76 games 1 year. So an experienced reliever. He's 31 years old. Not a big man. He's 6 feet, but only 160 pounds. Originally enrolled at Northwestern, then went to Delaware. What a celebration tonight. Chopper stabbed at and fielded by Koplov to throw him out. One away in the 8th. You know, as big as this ballpark is, there was a time 50 years ago where it was somewhat intimate. Home plate is moved over a little more to the right than where it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago, it was directly in front of the tunnel. And where you see that little fence, the tunnel, as you look in from the mound, is slightly to the right of home plate. There's the tunnel. Well, when Jerry and I occupied the first radio booth here, it was a wooden booth, and it was fastened to the roof of the dugout, and then there were metal stairs to go up and down. And we were close enough to home plate to hear the grunts and all of that. And one day the Dodgers were playing the Milwaukee Braves, and the manager was Bertie Tebbetts. And there was a play at home plate involving a ball and a bat, and that's about where our booth was, somewhere up there. And the play involved a ball and a bat up along the first baseline, and Bertie got into a terrific argument and proceeded to claim that he was going to play the game under protest. And after he left the umpire, he was steaming, and he came back towards the tunnel, and he looked up, and I had known Bertie for years, and he said, "Hey, Vinny, do you have a rule book?" I said, "Yeah, Bertie, here." Flipped the rule book down, and he stood there and went through the rule, slammed it, muttered a word or two, flipped the book back up, and I said, "What's up?" Bertie said, "I'm going to go back and withdraw my protest." Well, I said, "Okay, Bertie, thanks." And then I went back on the air and told the folks that Bertie was withdrawing his protest before he had informed the umpires. We were that much ahead in that particular case. But that was just one of the many things that happened when we were suspended from the roof of the tunnel. Foul back. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Red Sox. For the Dodgers, 2 runs, 8 hits. Made a little run in the 7th. They had a home run and 2 singles. They had 2 singles in the 6th inning. So in the last 2 innings, the Dodgers have had 1 run, 5 hits. Foul back. Kevin Cash, who is going all the way behind the plate, had a 3-run home run in the 2nd inning. Struck out the next 2 times. Cash home run with 2 aboard turned it around from 1-0 Dodgers to 3-1 in favor of the Sox. Delwyn Young now is in that spot, the softball middle fielder. Remember, it's about 200 feet down the left field line. Maybe it's a little bit less than that, but they say around 200. When the Dodgers played here for 4 years back in 1958, it was about 250 feet down the line. So therefore, we always had a left fielder on each team. Tonight, since it is so shallow, there is no left fielder. They use somebody as a middle fielder. And Delwyn Young, after Andrew Jones played that middle field spot, and Andrew actually had a put out at second base on an attempted steal. He handled the throw from Russell Martin and made the tag. Figures to be a play he will never have to worry about anymore. Argenis Diaz, who is playing now after Lugo started, relieved by Cora, and Diaz finishing up. Kevin Cash, that's amazing. He hits a 3-run home run, and then he's cashed in. Struck out in the 4th, struck out in the 6th, strikes out in the 8th. A victim maybe of the screen. Sugar plums dancing in his head. One ball and 2 strikes. Dodgers using Loaiza, Park, Jones, Saito, and Koplo. Veteran Gary Bennett has picked up for Russell Martin behind the plate. Little ground ball wide of third and fielded by the shortstop, who to get his man. So Boston goes 1-2-3, and at the end of 7.5 innings, it remains Red Sox 7, Dodgers 2.
Today, there's one thing you can count on: getting a great deal on a tough, reliable Toyota truck. Choose $3,000 cash back or 0 APR on any new 08 Tundra. Motor Trend's 2008 Truck of the Year. There's even $1,000 back or 0 financing on any new 08 Tacoma. No wonder truck guys are making the switch to tough, reliable Toyota trucks. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today.
Please keep your personal items concealed at all times. Welcome to Utah. Whether you're here for a gorgeous roast or the greatest one.
Welcome to Utah, where endless adventure is easy to find. With our 5 national parks and 43 state parks, come ready to play. To request a travel guide, visit www.utah.travel.
What do you say? I buy the gas, you buy the food? Okay.
You know you could have been a wonder, taking your circus to the sky. You couldn't take it on the
Introducing the new 35 miles per gallon Ford Focus.
Next time I'm buying the gas.
For only $169 a month, lease the all-new Ford Focus SE. It's fun to drive and looks great. See your Ford dealer today.
Well, we've reached the 8th inning here in the Coliseum, and for the Dodgers trying to get back into the game, and Jason Repko will start it off against Hideki Okajima. Okajima, who is from Kyoto in Japan, 32 years old, born and still lives in that beautiful city. Last year he led the Red Sox in all American League rookies, 66 appearances. That's a club record for a first-year player. Okajima was so tough, the opponents hit 130 against him with runners in scoring position. Interesting way to break in, too, to the first batter that he faced, and we'll tell you in a moment. Ball one. He gave up a home run on his first major league pitch. He gave it up to John Buck of Kansas City, who hit it out, and he didn't allow a run in his next 20 2/3 innings over a 20-inning appearance stretch. At 32, he's 6'1", about 195. For Okajima, he was a top setup reliever in Nippon professional ball, then became an unrestricted free agent, signed with Boston, spent all or parts of 11 years with the Tokyo Yomiuri Giants, and then he was traded to the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Married with a son and a daughter. That's a strike. Kyoto in Japan is one of the more picturesque cities in the world. I can't vouch for this, but I was told many years ago that Kyoto was the old capital of Japan, Kyoto, and when the Japanese made Tokyo the capital, they just rearranged the letters from Kyoto to Tokyo, Tokyo. I'm not sure if that's true, but sounds good. Chopper foul down the line. And I get back to the point we mentioned way back at the start of the game. There were 32 Asian players in big league training camps, 24 on big league rosters, and 8 invitees. And of the 32, 21 of them were pitchers. Repko fouls off another. We're in the 8th, 7-2 Red Sox. Hard to say exactly how long the game has taken, because it certainly was late in getting started, and we had some extra minutes go by in between some of the innings. And Jason Repko strikes out, one away. Well, here are the final numbers for our CarMax text message question. Remember, which game of the Coliseum would you have most wanted to attend? The first game back in 1958, Roy Campanella night in '59, or the first World Series game in 1959? And 52% of you said you would like to have attended the first World Series game. And again, just to remind you, in the 3 games played here in the World Series in 1959, 93,000 for each game. The Dodgers won with Don Drysdale the winner, 3-1. The Dodgers won with Larry Sherry in relief, 5-4. And the Dodgers lost the 3rd game of the series at Coliseum, when sinker baller Bob Shaw of the White Sox outdueled Sandy Koufax, beat him 1-0. The only run came as the Dodgers were turning a double play, and the Dodgers had to go on to Chicago to win the series. Line drive and a diving catch for the out, and the Dodgers 2 down in the 8th inning. So that was it right on the button. And Jason Place is there to make the catch before it hits the grass. Nice play. So with 2 out, Delwyn Young coming up. Delwyn Young finishing up at Andrew Jones' spot. Delwyn would figure to make the ball club. He is out of options. He has not done a lot with the bat, although the Dodgers are convinced he can hit. But he only hit 170 so far in the spring. 0-2 to Delwyn. Joe Torre has a lot of difficult decisions to make, along with general manager Ned Colletti. They will really start thinking tonight because the squad has to be cut. The season officially begins tomorrow in Washington when the Nationals face the Atlanta Braves. So Joe will huddle with coaches, with Ned Colletti, and eventually we'll find the 25 players to open up the season Monday. Oh, and 2. So it's been Wakefield, Corey, and Okajima. It's been Loaiza, Park, Jones, Saito, and Koplov for the Dodgers. Dodgers had a lot of trouble with Tim Wakefield and his knuckleball. Knuckleball, of course, will always set you back a little bit. So contrary to all of the other pitches. Josh Beckett, a 20-game winner, the ace of the staff for the Red Sox, is still in Florida. He's in Fort Myers. He's had a tight back, stiff back, just can't get loose. So he didn't go to Japan. He didn't come to California. He won't be with the club in Oakland. But it could very well be that Beckett will make his debut in Toronto. Three and 2 the count, with 2 down in the 8th inning, and the Dodgers losing 7-2. The Red Sox do not use a so-called middle infielder. Look out for the bat. The ball goes to third, and Young goes to the dugout. So the Dodgers go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. And we are heading for the 9th, with the Red Sox holding on to a 7-2 lead.
It's here and it's big. It's Dodge Truck Month. Driven by the legendary Cummins turbo diesel power of Dodge Ram 3500 Heavy Duty. We're the only thing bigger than spacious Ram Mega Cab, or even Ram Chassis Cab's job-rated capability is the deal. Now during Truck Month, get up to $4,500 cash allowance or 0% APR financing for 60 months on Ram trucks. Get into Truck Month at your California Dodge dealer. It's gonna be huge.
Hello, everyone. I'm Juan Fernandez. Tonight on KCAL 9 News, Dodger fans celebrate 50 years in Los Angeles. Thousands of people packed the Coliseum. We're live after the game with reaction and highlights. Plus, more trouble for former Laker Isaiah Ryder. Why was he arrested driving in downtown Los Angeles? And how long will the cooler weather last? Your forecast after the game.
His dad needs a kidney.
Your prayers didn't cause this.
But I specifically asked for kidney disease.
Next, George Lopez.
Monday at 11 on KCAL 9.
Hey, I got your email about my value menu, and I was really touched.
I'm on a kind of a tight budget, so it's really cool that right now I can get a great deal, like 2 of your warm and flaky croissant sandwiches for just $3.
Most of the money I save is going to a college fund for this guy.
I want to be a psychiatrist.
And the rest goes into my monkey spaceship.
Gotta follow your dreams, right?
Not always.
Hi again, everybody. John Ireland in the Coliseum Commissioner's Room, reminding you it's not too late to contribute to Think Cure. Call 866-554-CURE. And if you donate more than $1,000, we'll send you a signed Dodgers jersey, like this one from Andrew Jones. It's all part of helping cure cancer while you watch baseball here on KCAL 9.
We have reached the 9th inning. And another young Asian on the mound, this one for the Dodgers, Hung-Chi Kuo. So we've had Saito, we've had Okajima, and now we have Kuo. Hung-Chi Kuo from Taiwan. Left-hander who has had several arm surgeries, including the well-known Tommy John surgery, had that twice, and yet has remarkable stuff. He has hit 95 on the gun, which seems almost unbelievable after what he's been through. Joe Thurston facing Kuo. Hung-Chi Kuo, 26 years old. He'll be 27 the end of July. On the DL last year. In fact, that's been really his problem. Some fellas are so fortunate. They have such a long career. They never get hurt. They're never on the DL. Then there are others who work so hard, and every time you look up, they're hurt. Joe Thurston tried to be a Dodger, couldn't make it. Now trying to be the member of the Boston Red Sox. Joe loves to play piano, and he likes to compose music. Very pleasant fellow. Finishing up at second base for the Rookie of the Year last year, Dustin Pedroia. And he hits one in the air to the left side, and a routine out for DeWitt. One away, top of the 9th inning. Dusty Brown, whom we saw work as a catcher last night. Brown will come up to be the 3rd designated hitter.
Number 55.
David Ortiz was the DH, and he doubled and grounded out. Sean Casey pinch hit and struck out and walked. And now here's Dusty Brown. Dusty was born in Orange, California, and lines it to right field, and a great diving catch out there by Matt Kemp. Well, Matt Kemp takes a base hit away from Dusty Brown with a diving catch, somewhat like the catch that Jason Place made on the ball hit by Chavez. Nice play by Matt.
For the Red Sox, number 12,
Jed Lowry, the 3rd baseman, coming up. Lowry doubled in the 7th inning. He's finishing up for Mike Lowell. Red Sox a winning ball club, and on the older side, half of the club is at least 32 or then some. But they also have some fine young ball players just starting to move in and crowd the regulars. One ball and one strike. That's in there. 1-2. I had the strangest thought sitting here. Do you think 50 years from now are they going to celebrate the Dodgers' 100th anniversary in Los Angeles? And will they play that game here in the Coliseum? I know one thing, I'm not going. Not a chance. 1-2. Well, that will be that. A 1-2-3 top of the ninth, thanks to that diving catch by Matt Kemp. So we're heading for the bottom of the ninth inning, 7-2 Boston.
Better check this out. Stop on in. Buy LA's favorite truck and get 0% financing. That's right. Qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the Chevy Silverado half-ton. That's over $5,700 in average finance savings. Chevy Silverado, the best-selling large pickup in Los Angeles. Shop Chevy now. See your Southern California Chevy dealer or visit SoCalChevy.com today.
Oh, look at that. I just don't seem to sweat anymore.
Everybody sweats, especially now during tax time.
Oh, I don't worry about my taxes. I got people.
People? What if something goes wrong?
That'll get some beads going.
Nope. My people take the heat.
The H&R Block Guarantee. We guarantee our accuracy, or we'll pay any resulting penalties and interest to the IRS, and stand behind you if you get audited.
The all-new 09 Corolla is here. And it's sleeker, quicker, quieter, and roomier. Backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. And now, get a $179 a month lease on a new 09 Corolla with its 35 MPG. Only $179 a month for 36 months to lease the all-new 09 Corolla. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota, moving forward. And by Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Bottom of the ninth inning at the Coliseum, the torch burning brightly, reminding us there's a lot of work to do. And we're off in the right direction. Think cure to defeat cancer. Before a crowd of 115,000, we'd like to remind you you can still make pledges to Think Cure by calling 866-554-CURE. And Jonathan Papelbon coming out of the bullpen. Last year, he held the opposition to a 146 batting average. He's 6'4", 225 with that French-sounding name. You guessed it, he's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Papelbon with 37 saves last year, 36 saves the year before. He's only the second reliever in Major League history to post at least 35 saves in each of his first two seasons. He joined Seattle Kazuhiro Sasaki, who accomplished the feat for the first 3 years. Jonathan Papelbon. His mom was a softball player at Louisiana State. He has twin brothers who both pitched at the University of North Florida and were both selected in the 2006 first-year player draft. Brother Josh drafted by the Red Sox. Jeremy drafted by the Cubs. His father is the deputy director of the Ted Williams Museum and Hitters Hall of Fame, so it is a baseball family. And that ball is hit to dead center for the out, right into the glove of Jason Place, and the Dodgers are down to their last two outs. Well, that'll do it for Ramon Martinez, who finished up at first base. And the batter is Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp singled, flied out, singled, made a fine defensive play on a ball hit into right field. So 2 for 3. Papelbon throws very hard. Last year, he averaged almost 13 strikeouts per every 9 innings. As we told you, he held the opposition to a 146 batting average. And that's hit to the hole, knocked down, and that's about it. So Argenis Diaz gets the glove on it. Doubt very much he could have done anything with Kemp and his great speed. Matt now 3 for 4 tonight with the single to short. Mark Sweeney, who batted as a DH for Juan Pierre and singled, is now coming up. So Sweeney is 1 for 1. So the veteran Mark Sweeney at 38 and the 27-year-old Jonathan Papelbon. Show you how tough young Jonathan was. There was a stretch last year when left-hand batters couldn't hit him, could not hit him at all. During that stretch, left-handers were 0 for 34 against Papelbon. 0-2 the count to Mark Sweeney. Papelbon, as you can well imagine, on the All-Star team in each of the last 2 years. Only the 4th Red Sox ever named in each of his first 2 big league seasons. Frank Malzone, Carlton Fisk, and Freddie Lynn. Interesting that Papelbon, during spring training last year, he was pitching in the starting rotation. Then they put him into the bullpen, and wonderful things happen as he strikes out Sweeney, and the Dodgers are now down to their last out. Dodgers tonight 2 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Chin Lung Hu will give way. Blake DeWitt is the batter with Hu out on deck. Matt Kemp at first. And a strike. 0-1. Blake DeWitt popped to short, flied to right, struck out, 0 for 3. And promptly bangs one into deep right center field and gone. Blake DeWitt hits it out over the right field wall. That makes it a little bit closer. It's 7-4. And for Papelbon, he is surprised as a young left-hand hitter takes him out. Last year, he allowed only 5 home runs all season. And DeWitt comes up with a big one, scoring Matt Kemp. DeWitt hit 6 home runs last year at Jacksonville, 1 year at Vero Beach. Blake had 18 home runs, but Vero Beach is a long way from here, but he gave that thing a shot to right center field. And he hits it off a big man, Jonathan Papelbon. 7-4 in favor of the Red Sox. Hard ground drive foul back up into the seats. At least half the folks have left, but it's been such a remarkable night. You say half the ballpark is left, and there's probably 50,000 still here. One other thought, back in 1958, I don't have the football book in front of me, but I remember coming here, standing on the roof of this press box, watching the Rams and the Bears. A boot at shortstop by Diaz, So the Dodgers are still alive. And the Rams and the Chicago Bears, that game I believe drew about 102,000. And that was the biggest crowd I'd ever seen. As Terry telling the infield to back up. Don't hold the runner who at first. And Angel Chavez will be batting. It's not every day you're going to see 115,000. Huh? Big rip by Chavez. 0-1 the count. 7 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Game would have been over except by the error on the ball hit by Chin Lung Hu. Dodgers 4 runs, 9 hits, now 10 with the home run. And the Dodgers 1 error. Check swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Wakefield, Corey, Okajima, and Papelbon, Loaiza, Park, Jones, Saito, Koplov, and Kuo for the Dodgers. And that's going to be hit into left field for a base hit, banging off the boards. And the Dodgers all of a sudden, in a game where it looked like they were dead ducks, will have the potential tying run in Jason Repko coming up. Repko finishing up for Andre Ethier. Ethier had a scoring fly ball, grounded out and singled. Repko and his at-bat struck out, and now he's up there 2 on and 2 out, and the big error at shortstop by Diaz has allowed the Dodgers to stay alive. 1 ball and no strikes. So Argenis Diaz kicks the ground ball, and the Dodgers take advantage of it. He is the 3rd shortstop for the Red Sox tonight. Lugo started, relieved by Cora and Diaz. Boy, that was some fastball to try and catch up on. With runners in scoring position tonight, the Dodgers are 0 for 8. And they have Hu in scoring position right now. That's a ball. 2-1 to count. So Chavez at first, Hu at second, and Repko at the plate. Tell you what, with that screen 200 feet away, 65 feet high, no game is really over. Kevin Cash going all the way behind the plate, talking to Papelbon. Well, the big boy from Baton Rouge in a spot of trouble. Martinez had flied out, but Kemp singled to the hole at short. Sweeney struck out, but DeWitt electrified the crowd with a home run. Then Hu's ground ball kicked by Diaz. 2-2 the count to Jason Repko. So the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 in, 7-4 Boston. Foul back out of play. Papelbon getting in his work, and for Jason Repko, who has not had the opportunity to play very much, boy, he has drawn a tough hombre right now. Papelbon has had 9 innings of spring training under his belt. Here we go. And down goes Repko. Looked like it might have been an off-speed pitch, but we're so far up and away. Probably a bad guess. The Dodgers wind up with 2 on 3 hits and an error, and it is history. But it is a most satisfying evening for both teams and for the crowd. Red Sox 7 runs, 10 hits and 2 errors. Dodgers 4 runs, 11 hits and 1 error. They'll go after each other one more time tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. Clay Buchholz and Hiroki Kuroda. And then opening day on Monday with Barry Zito and Brad Penny. And by the way, a reminder, opening day on FSN Prime Ticket for all the fuss and feathers at Dodger Stadium as we break the seal on the 2008 season. Boston, following tomorrow's game, will go out to Oakland. It's been an exciting night. We hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's been a fruitful night for Think Pure. I'm sure it was. For all of us, to all of you, a very pleasant good evening.